the hopeless, control the game like the coaches. Stay dropping gems, we the winners, coaching, you know this. Never coasting, always elevating, staying focused. When it's all said and done, we the winners, coaching, yeah. We winners, coaching. It's all said and done.
Yeah, we're doing
Welcome
good.
to another episode of Who's Hiring, cultural commentary for the creatively employed. I'm one of your hosts, It's Just JJ. Today we have with us Diamond A. Durant. We also have Riz, capital R, capital Z, lowercase I. And we have Jay Duce, a.k.a. Jay, a.k.a. your favorite podcaster himself. How's everybody feeling today?
Good.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Happy to be here.
Everybody cool?
Yeah.
That's good. It's a little dreary outside. The
It
weather a
is.
little...
I love this kind of weather. That's the crazy part.
Why you love it?
Jay said this when I
the
saw
Pisces
him on
thing.
Thursday night. He said he
It's
loves
a
this kind of
Pisces
weather.
thing?
It
What
was
you-
pouring.
You a water signs? Yo, I've seen you posting the other day that your favorite type friends is Cancers and Pisces.
Cancers and Tauruses.
What's up with that? I'm an Aquarius.
I didn't say that's about only.
You
Damn,
saying
I can't talk
like-
about Aquarius. JJ done got saved.
See,
My
I
baby in
forgot-
Aquarius now. I can't never
It's
say
the worst
anything
when somebody
again.
address you about something you put on social media. Like,
Yeah, because what's going on?
no,
You see
because
what I'm saying?
I was
comment
thinking
right
about
on.
it. I was thinking about it as a Gemini. Shout out to Gemini season.
Both my damn Jim.
Shout out
Both
to
my
Gemini
kids sitting
season.
next to each other. That's crazy. This is my future. Y'all going back and forth. That's crazy.
Like, we love a Gemini.
Man, peep that. That's crazy.
I just realized that Tauruses and Cancers make such great friends, like for Gemini. So that was just my observation.
I was going to comment. I was going to say Aquarius question mark,
crazy.
double question mark.
I actually don't have a lot of Aquarius friends.
I think Aquarius is like the lowest, has the least amount of people in it. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
No,
I know
actually-
a lot of Aquarius.
Yeah.
I feel like why? How wouldn't Pisces? Because they're drawing dumb short.
Really?
I have a lot of Aries
They're
in my
drawing
life.
dumb
I know a
short.
lot of places.
No, actually, on a lot of my tests, it come back like that I'm one of the rarest people on earth. In a couple ways, they say that like the personality type that is a thinker and a doer equally is the rarest personality type. And it also says like them 4 letters when it's like I, F, N, J or whatever them joins is.
I think so.
It's like a personality test. It's 4 letters. Whatever my combination is also like the rarest. So it's like in the world, I'm probably like one of the most rarest humans in existence. So I just want to let y'all know that.
Where's the camera?
Bird guy.
Literally.
All right. So, we're going our check-in question for today, right? So the check-in question for today is, I think we've all been in certain situations. It doesn't have to just be in the workplace. It could be with a friend. It could be with a family member where they get a little sassy. You know, they get a little short with you, a little aggression or microaggression as we call it. So the check-in question is, are you most likely when you're in this situation to laugh, not respond, or stay silent?
Oh, I have a great story
No,
for
I'm
this.
sorry. Laugh, respond, or stay silent.
In the situation when you're not supposed to, right?
Well, it's not that you're not supposed to, but it's like it's your preference. Like
Yeah.
when somebody get a little short with you, are you most likely to laugh, stay silent, or respond?
A little short. So you changed when you said a little short.
Yeah,
man,
I'm about to
threw
say
me
it
off.
depends on what
I
was
about
said.
to
It's hard
see,
to answer.
I'm just gonna tell my story because it's the big. So like
Yeah.
my kid was crying because he had to get like something taken away, and like he's made a pre-cry face, and when I tried to hold my laughing, but I covered my head. I'm good, but he still. I look over. He's still doing it. Then I look at my girl, and she just like, and I bust out laughing. I'm like, man, this is my parents did a good job because I
So
don't
you
know how.
laugh at your young boy when
I
he
didn't
about to
laugh at his
cry?
face, yes, but it wasn't crying for nothing serious. It just was.
In your mind,
He got something taken away from him.
Yeah.
As kids
In his
do.
mind.
you just laughing in people's face.
Why not laugh? Why not laugh?
Yeah, I can't
them,
laugh at
though?
my kid saying, "Fuck that Sprite."
That's different.
Like that's what that's the situation. He was on his little coding app and he made some game and it was like "fuck that Sprite" and they tried to ban him. So yeah, had to
Damn.
figure that out. But yeah, that was my way. Like in those awkward situations, like
them
growing up as a kid when your parent about to beat you, I'm a laugh. Like it's just something. I mean, that's why I give my kid so much credit because he do it too. My my other kid be crying, he be laughing. I'd be like, it's probably just because of me.
Did y'all get beat growing up?
I did get whoopings.
I did get beat.
I did.
And so you saying before that beating, you used to laugh?
I got worse. You think I'm a fucking joke? I bleep me, but like that was my life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just not a something to do for your survival. Like I'm not laughing at all.
But I couldn't control it. I'm laughing because I'm nervous I'm about to get beat, but I can't
you laugh
control
when
it.
you get
Yeah.
anxious. So your answer really
Laugh
is
at my
laugh.
pain.
You laugh in the moment. Riz, what about you?
I'm more of I'm gonna be quiet for a minute because I feel like it's almost like a mirror. Like I feel like when people aren't super reactive, it makes people like pause and think about what they doing a little bit, and then I kind of respond with like a question. And most of the times, it make people think about it. I remember this goes way back into like high school though, and I think it was one of my first instances. But like somebody tried to just over assert themselves, and it's like for what? Like what's up with
Doing,
you?
bro?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we had a conversation, and like whole time Brody was just having issues like at home, and I figured it was something like that, but he was frustrated about like something with his pop situation or something like that, and he just thought, let me take it out on this because you getting some attention right now, and I want to pull it down. But ever since that moment, we like our whole relationship changed. Like we became like real cool. We used to be on a basketball team together too, which was cool, and that's how our bond like grew even more. But we had an understanding from that point forward. So that kind of just told me like I don't have to be super reactive. Let me just see what's really going on with you, and then I think we get somewhere.
I agree too. I feel like it really is all dependent on like what was said for me to determine like how I'm gonna respond. But I honestly can see myself doing all three. Like I can see myself doing all three in a way. Like I agree with Riz where I think sometimes when you like don't respond immediately, it does make people feel stupid. Like, and my biggest thing is like if we're going back and forth and like we're arguing or we in some type of like yelling match, my biggest thing is I'm just gonna make you feel stupid. Like, so it's like whatever I can do to do that. Like, if I'm just gonna stop
She got a
talking
whole
so you can
different
just
goal.
hear yourself. Like, it's like I'm gonna stop talking so you can just hear yourself. Like, because at some point you have to listen to yourself and be like, yeah, I sound mad stupid. So I think that's it. But I also don't tolerate disrespect. So I am quick with it. Like, if you disrespect me, I'm definitely gonna say something in that moment. And I think that's really important. Like, my dad is somebody who I really respect, like his mind and his principles when it comes to how to deal with people. And my dad is somebody who would say like, don't let somebody do something to you twice, check it in the moment so that it never happen again. And I'm a firm believer in that. So if anybody ever disrespects me verbally, most likely I'm gonna say something in that moment and it's some straightening that's gonna happen right then and there, so we don't ever get to that place. So I'm definitely not gonna not say nothing and then try to, oh, can I pull you aside later? Like, no, it's gonna be in that moment, unless we're like in front of like whatever, unless the situation just doesn't allow that. But I also, depending on if I realize like you're more upset about something that got to do with you than me, I probably won't respond. Like if I realize that you got a lot going on in your day, I could just tell by how you're not only treating me but other people and the environment around you, like you storming around, you're doing this and third, and this is just who you are. I'm probably just not gonna say anything to you back at all. Like I'm just gonna let you be because clearly you going through it and it's reeking off of you.
Right.
Yeah, I think So like I changed over time. Like,
Right.
like now,
Wait, so
changed.
before you go, I was gonna ask because you said that we all got whoopings, but like elementary school, did everybody get into an elementary school fight or middle school fight?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
fist fight.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like as you start to learn how to handle conflict, you kind of start going away from that. But you change. So what were you gonna say?
yeah, no, that's exactly what I was on when I was younger. I used to be violent, and so
Yeah.
and so I don't think I was violent by choice. I think I was violent by like I felt like I had to be violent. Like that's the quickest way, because the other truth is like I'm slow a little bit. Like, and when I say that I mean like and when I say that I mean I'm not quick with it. You know what I'm saying? Like so somebody, you know how people bidding on you and all that. I used to think I think of it 3 days later. I should have said,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, what else can I do?
I'm the type of person you would have hated in middle school.
No,
I'm too quick with it.
Definitely would have hated it. I hated everybody who had a funny joke immediately.
Yeah.
Can't stand them people. You know what I'm saying? That's why my man, shout out to Rashid, he had to teach me how to bid. Like,
Yeah.
Here go a couple jokes. Like, just keep them in the pocket, just in case anything started. That's when I started changing a little bit. So
Shout
it was
out
like
Sheen. That's what we need
when-
on the pod.
when I started having jokes to come back, then I started feeling the need to be a less aggressive.
Right.
I used to just get mad and just try to get aggressive,
Right.
and that either work or it don't.
Right.
that either works or it doesn't work. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? And then the other half of that, it was like I was a football player, so I was a little more physically like a little stronger. I was, some would say, like in the cool crowd or whatever. So I had more people around me that would be willing to follow up on my aggression. And that started getting a little drawing too, because it's like, I feel like it's my fault. Like people shouldn't be fighting my battles, stuff like that. So then, you know, I went to therapy and all that. And then after that, like now I probably stay silent more than anything, or I laugh. Like I think my natural response is to laugh. But laughing don't go good when you're young. Like they just keep, like, no, I'm gonna smack you in the head with this book.
Right.
Now, one time I did that. It's a real life story. That boy was picking on me. I don't know if he was picking on me. He thought something was funny at my expense.
Right.
I grabbed the encyclopedia. Like it wasn't no regular.
So I'm gonna get the biggest book
Not
I
the
could
biggest
find.
book you could find.
All the words in it.
Not the biggest book you could find.
Oh, he tried to say I broke his jaw. Now whether that's true or not, like I don't know.
I got beat up in middle school.
You got beat up. How did that go? How was that shaping for you?
Huh?
How did that shape you?
I think it taught me just like you do gotta watch your mouth and you just gotta stand on what you say. Like that's really what it taught me. It's just like you gotta watch your mouth, you gotta stand on what you say. But I definitely got beat up in middle school. Actually, right up the street from here. Actually, shout out AB Day. But that's where I went to middle school at, which is literally 2 blocks up from where we're at right now. Like, so it's just like shout out to AB Day. But yeah, I did. It was by this girl who was like, she was low key like not the bully of our school, but she was definitely like from the hood. She was a trench baby for sure. And y'all know how like when you're in middle school, the teacher, like some students be like right up under the teacher all the time. Like she was like our math teacher. She was like our teacher's pet, like to the point that the teacher used to call her daughter and stuff like that as like a joke. So one day, our teachers used to be upset that we used to keep our jackets on top of our lockers, and they used to always tell us like, don't put your stuff in your locker, don't leave your jacket on top of your locker, because if somebody takes it, then you're going to be upset. So at the time I had on like this fresh blue Abercrombie bubble jacket, which like if y'all know how big Abercrombie was back in the day. To teach all the kids a lesson, she started taking the jackets and putting them in a trash bag, like, or whatever, like basically just on some like somebody took your jacket. So I got really upset by that because I was like, don't touch my stuff, like don't touch my jacket. So at the table at lunch, I was talking about it with the trench baby. She was right there, and I was like, yo, like she better not touch my stuff. Like next time she touch my stuff, I'm telling my mom to come up here, like don't touch my jacket. Like I don't even play those games. Like I've always been the same person for real. I've always been the same person for real. So I was at the table popping it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, like, don't touch my stuff. She went back and told her favorite teacher that I was like, yo, at the lunch table, telling her, everybody, like, oh, my mom's going to come up here, XYZ. So the teacher said something to me. She was like, yo, like, basically pulled me aside and like checked me as a teacher should. Like, yo, like, I put your jacket in the trash because it is standing third. So after that, I started telling everybody the girl was a D-eater. And if you from Philly, you know that's like, you basically might as well just tell the person to fight you at that point, because those are fighting words. And we were all in 7th grade at this time. So I was just going around to like because I've always had been somebody who had a lot of guy friends, because I grew up with 6 brothers. So Have
you been in a fight before this?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you already knew the comprehend. Okay.
Yeah, this wasn't like my first fight or anything, but I just was going around popping it to like people like, yeah, like she's an eater. Like, why you run back and tell the teacher like you're weird, you're an eater? Right. She came up to me in like one of the classrooms we was in, and she was like, "Get up." And I'm not a fighter, but I've always had way too much heart. Like I've had way too much heart, probably too much for my own good and too much for my size, because I definitely got up and we got to fighting, and she turned me every which way but loose in that classroom, literally to the point that I was if you see, she gave me like a permanent cut on my forehead that I still have today. I usually cover it with concealer, so you probably can't see it, but literally I had to get stitches in my face and everything.
No, she had to get treated.
She literally turned me. Mind you, she's a trench baby. I'm telling y'all, this girl was like, also for context, she was like 3 times my size. Like for context, this was a big girl. But yeah, that's when I learned you gotta shut up, mamas.
I respect your fearlessness though. I really do respect your fearlessness, because I don't.
It's all about that jacket, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you gonna say at that point when somebody's telling you to get up?
No, that was actually a courteous thing. She didn't have to. She could have just started going in it. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all this quick fight story. So I was in, like, this is what I'm saying. This is how I know that violence is bad. And it also go to what you're saying. She didn't have to tell you to get up. Because my freshman year at Bloomsburg, the situation was I was on a football team. There was a guy that was running around selling drugs, but he was claiming like he was hard as nails, this and that. Naturally, that got him robbed. You know, some guys from the team robbed him. He called the cops. So they got the guys locked up temporarily. You know, they got out of football privileges and stuff like that. But that made him a rat, essentially. And so a lot of the guys I'm hanging with now got a certain vendetta towards this guy. Now he my size. You see what I'm saying? We're similar in stature. There was a guy that was an offensive lineman, 6, 7, 8, 9, up there somewhere, 300 something pounds. Man, we went to go. It was a joint called late night, where it was like late night. They served you pizza.
Wow,
it was like
I ain't
half
hear
a
that term in a
yeah,
minute.
half. It was a meal swipe or
What a
whatever. You can
time.
get your pizza, or whatever. I'm in the joint. This is actually the first day not the first day I met Keon, but Keon's best friend. Like how we got cool. We just end up talking in the joint. We talking this freshman year, but I'm in here with my football homies, so I'm not with them. I'm at the Pepsi joint, getting the Pepsi, getting involved with that. You see what I'm saying? I look over. This 6'8" man is raining punches down to this seated drug dealer. You see what I'm saying? Beating the life out of him in
That's terrible.
the cafeteria. I'm like, yo, like you could have let him. Like we could have took
that's
it
crazy.
outside. I had to
Yeah.
go over there. I stopped the
Get a
fight.
fair one.
But I have a thing about people who hitting somebody who not hitting them back. Like I just think that you're just a bad person at that point. I feel the same way about people who like beating their kids. Like I just think to get to a point where you're beating something, an animal, a baby, a child that's not hitting you back. I just feel like you have to be a certain level of angry that I just think you need to figure that out before
Or you
you
don't
have
know how to
kids.
watch your mouth.
So whoa. So
Yeah,
y'all not
but-
gonna beat y'all kids?
no.
Personally, me, no. Personally,
Nobody
me.
beating
I can't
kids,
see
man.
myself getting
Now-
that
now
mad.
nobody
Now,
beating their
okay.
kids.
I think there's a difference between, because when people talk about this, there's a difference between discipline and like pop. Like I popped you. Okay, I popped you. You gotta stop. I'm talking about beating. Like I'm talking about with a belt, beating, constantly hitting. Like that. I don't like that, because it's like, why would you hit? Like for the life of me, whether it's your child, your animal. Again, I don't comprehend hitting something that's not hitting you back. Like and that's coming from somebody who I personally never hit anybody that wasn't hitting me. Like I've never been. I'm not a hard body fighter, girl. I'm not about to walk up to you and just steal off on you. Like that's not me. Like so, I feel like in order to fight something, two people should be hitting each other. So why would you hit a kid that's not even putting their hands up to even hit you back?
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
weird.
with none of that. I got kids. I ain't with none of the popping, none of that. Cause I don't think like you don't got the right to violence in any human being. Like to me, even like in that story, JJ4, if the boy who got beat up on, whatever his response is warranted, because you just beat up. Like violence gets violence. So your kids don't like, you don't get to you don't get to harm no one to me. I don't do that with my kids. Like it's all about communication. Cause like somebody who got beat a lot growing up, it was all because you just didn't understand me. Like you just don't know why. Like we just told the story about laughing. I got my ass beat for laughing, but I can't control it. I'm a kid, so I don't know how to tell you like, yo, this I'm fearful, but I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Like so, like in that situation, it's so much like your kid can't say. But like for adults, like if you like in cases where like you just like I don't like violence you going on harming nobody. But sometimes your mouth do got cash a check, your ass got to handle. Like
For sure.
you gotta get there.
And I feel
So-
like the best thing you could do is teach your
and then
kids
some people
that.
love that. My last thing, especially that middle school, like y'all bring me back to the time. Like middle school, people would love to run their mouth and then get to the lunchroom and be like, "No, bro, I just was taught like, no, nigga, you just was going crazy in biology.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. I told you in biology, like so, like in the situation, like and then that being the it all depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm whooping. Listen, the reason why though is because that's how I was raised. You see what I'm saying?
But that don't gotta be something you continue though, just because
Yeah.
it's how you was raised. I got beat for rapping. I got beat for rapping, and that's real rap, because I literally think
I
about
got
that
beat for
sometimes. It's just like
babysitting.
you
Like-
never
You got
know
beat for
what could have
rapping,
had.
yo.
I could be rapping right now. Like you just don't know. I know it's
Glorilla.
crazy to imagine, but for real, you just don't know. But like again, when I was young, Nicki Minaj was like
Yeah,
the
those
female
words
rapper.
can-
Like
yeah.
I remember when Nicki Minaj came out, like that we were upset. Like people, any girl who is my age, and I'm about to be 29, who tell you that they wasn't hyper obsessed with Nicki Minaj when they was young is lying. She
They
was the
still
only
today.
female rapper we had. So when Nicki Minaj came out, I was obsessed with this idea of like female rap, because up until then, all I heard was like my mom listened to old Lil Kim and Jackie O songs. So it was just like at that point I'm like, okay, I'm obsessed with rap. So I started rapping, like writing raps in my notebook, like, and I was cursing a lot because it was just like, that's what I heard. Like, I was just cursing. Well, my mom found that notebook and tore me up. Like, tore me up. I ain't writing raps.
Crazy. What was you saying? I
don't know.
need a bar.
I don't know, but there's videos of me rapping on YouTube.
Word.
There's videos of me rapping on YouTube.
Yo,
Yeah.
was you out in the schoolyard with your friends behind you?
Yeah. No, we had for real. I wish I could. I was just talking about this with somebody the other day, and I was like, yo, I wish I could remember the name of the video because it has to still be up there. I even hit up my friend in high school. I was like, do you still? Because it was on her YouTube channel. I was like, you still had a link to that video, but I had two. videos.
snap.
I was rapping to
You really might have been.
I was
one of them
YOLO.
ones.
Right.
One of them was to YOLO, and the other one was to
YOLO, like the motto.
yeah,
Okay.
the motto.
YOLO
Sorry.
is about it, eh?
Yes, it was that. It was that. And I forgot. The other one was Lamborghini Mercy. Yeah, chick, she's so third. That one. I gotta find the footage. I had to find the footage.
Footage
Yo,
gotta come.
young. I'm telling you, I'm like 15 years
definitely was
old,
that time,
outside
yeah.
rapping, outside the school. All of these people behind me, terrible.
That's
Mom
crazy.
wasn't having it. She said, "Not mine."
This is a movement,
She
man.
said-
What we
she said,
doing?
"Not
No,
mine."
literally.
Man, you might have been taking that very serious. JJ, let's get to work though.
Oh, let's get to work. Right, let's get to work. So for today in let's get to work. The topic at hand is how seriously do you take your life? And the reason why this is the topic at hand because it's two different ways to go about it, right? Some people take their life extremely serious. Some people, let things come to them. So for y'all, like when you even think about how seriously I take my life, what do you think about?
Making it home to my kids, like I take it serious. I don't even like being anywhere unnecessarily sometimes, like because the fear of something might just happen, and I'm just because I'm around when I could have been home with my kids, like in a situation like that is one of the ones I feel like I take life dumb seriously, but I can't I'm not one of the people that's like changing like putting my life to completely to the side because of my kids. So like I still want to have fun, and I still try like even what we do, like doing different things to elevate my life, but also like the seriousness from having kids is like at the utmost for me sometimes. Like I can't like, and then also being a kid, but also me not having a father kind of like forced that because like I know what single women go through. I seen it firsthand. Like I had to be a kid. Like I couldn't be a kid as a kid. So like that shit really like I take it very serious. That's why I take whooping. I take my children very seriously when people try and have the conversations around being like your parents, because like I don't have that like attachment to my upbringing because it was like in some ways traumatic. In some ways it was like I was a kid in the 1940s. Like I'm working. I've been again, we just was joking. Like I've been out of job for the first time in my life since I was like 12. Like I've been working that long, like construction joints, helping apprenticeships. Then you get to work study, you working everywhere you can. I'm working so like in that situation, like I've been serious so long. So this 1 year feels like I'm like balancing that out. Like, all right, this is what people did regular. Like, when you don't have to be somewhere every day of your fucking life.
So when you think about taking life seriously, you think about it in terms of safety. Like you think of like actually, I'm protecting my existence.
Yeah, and safety in multiple ways. Safety as far as accessibility too. Like I'm protecting my existence, and I'm making sure that I can maintain a certain level of like I don't want my kids to experience some of the things you have to experience when you don't take your financial status serious enough. Like keeping your savings, doing certain things, investments to make sure even if a rainy day super happens, something can like happen. Or if you're not even like getting life insurance, like hey, I advise everyone getting life insurance. I got homies that like do that career now. And when you sit and talk about it, it's so many advantages, but just like I people who lost their parents don't got no money. So like I take things like you said like safety, but like in multiple lanes.
I feel that when you said life insurance, I remember my previous job made that sign up for life insurance, and I didn't feel the emotional attachment to it because I don't have children, and I feel like once that happens, it is gonna flip a different type of like safety switch of like college fund or just whatever, or maybe when they turn 30, like having money for them, like at certain times, then they can access it. So that way they can go through life and be prepared. So it's just so many experiences you have as children that you don't want your kids to have. And I remember my parents saying those things to me, but it's like, I've still had experiences. Like, you can't protect me from everything. And that's part of how I got to learn. And I've had experiences as a result of you guys being my parents as well. It's like it's two sides to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
so
you're gonna get it, but I don't want to be part of it.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. But I feel like because of that, I've always been on this serious path of like, I got to get things done. I'm also like, as a lot of people share, like my parents were teenage parents, firstborn. So there was a lot of pressure on me to like be something, because a lot of people either said not to have me, or like once he gets here, he ain't gonna be nothing. And my dad is doing what he's doing before everybody figured out life. So it's like, I'm very serious about life. Like, if the minute I could work, not like the day I turned 14, got my working papers, but the day I could work, like I was getting to it. If I could do more things to like add to my plate, that's why we double majoring and stuff. Like, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, but I feel like maybe I missed out on some things, but it's also financial access. Like, I can't do things I can't afford. So I want to make sure I'm in a position where I can do those things. So I do be taking life real serious, and I'm trying to figure out how to just enjoy. Like, even going to the beach, I was talking about the other day, or Janae was talking about it, and I'm like, I don't think I like going to the beach because I've never really been to the beach, because it's just not in my thought process of what to do. So yeah, I'm trying to enjoy
to the
it.
beach, Pod Beach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pod Beach is a good beach.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we gonna go pod at the beach.
Oh, pod at the beach.
Pod at
Oh,
the beach.
He always trying to work.
yeah.
We just talked about how
You're trying to enjoy it,
Right.
but that might be fun. I don't
Pod
know.
I mean, it's ain't really.
I relate a lot to what you said, Riz. I feel like because of like my family and my upbringing, I also am somebody who has had a lot of pressure on me, and also has taken life like very much serious, where I was like, okay, I gotta do this, gotta do that. And that's because like my mom and my grandma, they raised me, and they put so much pressure on me because I have a lot of siblings, but I was raised mostly around boys. Like, my sisters that I do have are on my dad's side, so we didn't like grow up in the same household together. So on my mom's side of the family, I am like the girl. Like, I'm like my grandmom's only granddaughter, I'm my mom's only daughter. So it was just like very high expectations, and my mom and my grandma are two very like successful, graceful, I'm gonna go get it women. I come from women who have always gotten things on their own. Like, I don't really come from a family of marriage. So I've seen my grandma get everything that she had on her own. My mom as well. Like, my mom had houses and cars before I even seen her married. My mom had real jewelry, real diamonds, like all that stuff. My mom has been working all her life. So I've come from that, and then because of that, I've always had the motivation of just like, I need this and I need that, and I want to do this. When I got to college, I worked all through college and had never been to Baltimore a day in my life, and went up there and got a job at the local mall just because I was so hyper determined. But I feel like I still carry that now into my everyday life, where it's like, I don't have kids, but I know I want kids one day. And when I think about that, I'm like, I want them to have the absolute best and be able to focus on this and do that without having money being an issue. And I also have, now that my grandmom has passed, I have somebody who I need to make proud. So that's the only thing I think, where it's like, if it come down to me or somebody else, it's gonna be me. So it's just like, in order for it to be me, it's like, you gotta work harder, you gotta be available, you have to show up, you have to, especially working in an agency environment. I strongly believe that the only way you get renewals and contract renewals and people want to keep working with you is if you do your job at 100%. So that's why I feel like a lot of stuff like that, and when it's money involved, I think I can get a little bit more serious. But I'm on the cusp now, as I've gotten a little bit older, especially in this past like 6 months or so, of trying not to take life as serious, because I know it's like Murphy's Law, like whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So, and I'm understanding of that, especially in work. Like, as somebody who's extremely detailed and like appreciates when people are on time and appreciates when things are done as planned, it's sometimes hard for me to pivot almost immediately, but I'm being more open to that and learning to be more open to that, because I feel like you can plan early and then stuff still falls through. Like, you can never predict what's going to go right and what's going to go wrong. So I'm learning to be okay, almost just like it's a prayer where it's just like, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and like, the peace to accept the things I can't or whatever, however it goes. Like, I firmly believe that, because like, you can't like change everything, and you can't put the pieces together in life how you want them to be. But I do think I'm kind of in that in between space now of like knowing when to let go and when to laugh, because a lot of this stuff right now is not going to matter in the end. Like, but also knowing that I have goals that I want to obtain, and I have things that I want, and I know that like how serious I am when it comes to work. I know that that's going to be the difference between me and somebody else.
Right.
I think I thought this was a great question. Like when it was proposed of how seriously do you take your life, because this is a question I never thought about before. Like I never thought about like what is my level of seriousness towards life itself. And so when I was going back trying to think like what is the foundation or the framework for me to even be able to answer this question, I had parents that was mad easy going. Not to say that they wasn't. My mom was a a single parent, had a baby when she was a teenager as well. Wasn't married at the time. She came from the trenches, like super trenches. Shout out to my mom.
Doc on her. I didn't even know that story.
Yeah, no, her story is crazy. But so I seen her get her first degree. I seen her get her associates. I seen her get her bachelor's. I seen her get her law degree, like all in front of me. And so at the same time though, I seen her be like, you would never know the struggle that she came from. Like you would never know that her mom abandoned her and her dad abandoned her, and that she was raised by her grandma. And she didn't see her dad for the first time until she graduated high school. And that, her mom came back when she was 12 for the first time and kidnapped her, brought her to Philly. Like, you would never know these things because she always laughing. Like, she always making a joke. Like, she always like that. So, like, even though I'm seeing two separate sides, she passed on something that was like, just enjoy your run. Like, enjoy this life. Like, don't take it too hard or don't whatever. So, it's like I'm seeing two different things. So now I'm thinking, like, how did I see life? And I can see now that when I was young, I got involved in sports early. In sports, as a young person in Philly, is super competitive. Like, it's super, super serious. It's super serious.
I hate to be in Florida or Atlanta where it's really there, like where you get Philly ticket to the 10th power.
Yeah, so like by default, you involved in something that's just so serious. And because it's also like, it's like being a rapper, like y'all was saying, like the way that people was looking up to Lil Wayne, I'm looking up to Brian Dawkins. Right. I'm looking up to Brian West. Like I'm thinking these people are the pinnacle of what it means to be successful and all that. And because you really got like whether or not you're going to be a professional athlete is damn near decided by the time you're 18. You see what I'm saying? You're still a kid. So every decision that you made up to that point really plays a factor in a role onto whether you have a chance to do this thing. And so we live in life with this type of pressure. Like, when you 13, 14, you playing in stadiums and arenas with all these people. Like high school, I went to West Caf, like our games we're playing in stadiums of full of people. Like the pressure is high.
Yeah, atmosphere crazy.
Yeah, it's like a high level of pressure for a kid. And so I'm taking it mad serious. Like I'm taking it super serious. Like I'm practicing 3 times a day. I'm working out. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm like, it's what defined my life. And by the grace of God, I was able to get a scholarship to go and play in college, which is part of the goal. But I got hurt in college. And when I got hurt in college, I feel like my perspective on the world shifted. It made it like I can't control the outcome, because if I could control the outcome, I would be going further. You know what I'm saying? It's no way that everything makes sense for me to be able to do more and go further. I was the fastest on my team. I ran a 4.4 as a sophomore at Bloom or whatever. Like I was doing things that made it like I have a chance to keep this going or whatever the case would be. But when I got hurt and I couldn't control that and basically was forced with the decision to like try to play through the injury or do something else, the reason why I chose to do something else is because I realized I gave my whole life to this sport up to this point, and I have nothing else. I have no other talents. I have no other skills. I have no other ability to see the world other than through the lens of competition. So now I just be doing stuff. Like that's why you might see me just like, oh, he learned how to do that. Like he learned how to rap. He made a movie. Like I just be doing stuff because up until the time I was 20, I didn't do anything else. Like, I really didn't do anything else.
No, that was like to this. You just made me think about this finding your purpose question a lot because like you had to redo it. Like as a like athlete, you had your purpose up until a sophomore day in college where something goes wrong. So like having to do it twice, I think you got an interesting perspective on it because like for some of us like my film and TV stuff is like always there in the back of my brain. Okay. Like even like when I was like completely on a whole other path, wanted to open my own auto body shop mechanic, I was like I'm eventually gonna record something. I was watching Pimp My Ride and what's the other joint? West Coast Customs had their own show, and I was like, I could do it like this. So, but like, it was never like I was never like sports got played out to me real quick because of like family stuff, like what goes on with my cousins and like how their life went. So like I didn't have that, but as a kid, I could see like you had a strong purpose, and then it'd be a full on adult, and it just disappear.
Exactly
I can't imagine your brain and having to be like. And also, you did a real adult thing because most people still chase after that. Like, all right, I got hurt, but that I'm coming back, or I'm going to be a train. Like, even in your degree, it's kind of like in that model of I'm going to go and help out still in this area.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, yeah, that's how did you? Because now I got some questions. How did you, like, go like to that like in those finishing years of college? Did you feel like you still had a purpose?
No.
So like, what was the? That's what so like, what was finishing? Like what were you? You just was doing it for like mama love and like that reason. Like you didn't. Your brain, there was no like, I'm doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, when I got hurt, my grandmama was dying of cancer, and I lost football, and so like my heart broke. I ain't have a heart. There was no heart in there. And so, I'm just out here. Like literally, I was out here. I was living double lives. I was a super political. I was super out here doing, we did the march and we did a whole bunch of random, like literally, like if you just we was doing random stuff. We led the Black Lives Matter march, and then we was doing stuff on campus.
Not random.
It wasn't random, but it was random to
me. It was random
me.
at the time.
Yeah, like
this,
it was
this
random
before that stuff just started happening. Like
it was random to me. Like what? Like it would be like if who Tyrese Maxey started leading the Black Lives Matter march down. It's like,
when did you care
like
about this, or when were you?
When did you start caring about this?
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? That's more what it was like. And then I was running it. I turned up when it came to like, I don't want to say running like girl, like how my relationship to women and like all these type of things. I'm just, like I said, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking, I didn't have that experience at all until that point when I didn't know what to do. And that's why I have genuine questions. I think all athletes have genuine questions to the people who seem like they have purpose in this life outside of sports. You feel what I'm saying? So to y'all, did taking y'all life seriously or seeing your parents take life seriously in this way play a part into how you found your purpose in this life? Like,
yeah, it's funny you say that though, because I thought I was going to the NBA. Like, as bad as you thought you was going to the NFL, I swore I was going to the NBA. I swore I was going to be 6'2". I had it in my mind, like, all right, if I keep growing at this rate, I'm going to be 6'2". I'm practicing every day, but we didn't have the ability to do AAU. Whether it was for like transportation or just like funding or just figuring out how it was going to work in our lifestyle. Like, it just wasn't happening. So I never played AAU. I'm just street ball every day, going to the park every day. Niggas in the neighborhood like, oh, no, you nice, though. You nice. But that's the only time you see me, because if not, I can't be indulging in all the other activities. So mom, like, once you're done playing, come in the house. All right, cool. So I'm hooping, and that was like a big part of my identity. And then I think that's where it shifted for me in high school. Like, I always loved music, and I would like listen to music when I was doing anything. So, but I didn't know the possibility of becoming a rapper, what that looked like, or what's the plan. But then you start seeing the blog era and seeing people like, oh, you just got to put your music out there. Oh, my man sitting next to me just dropped a mixtape. People listening to it, like, that's all you got to do? Well, I do want to rap. Let me do that too. Well, okay. My mom said I got to have a plan B. She always say plan B. Make sure you get good grades. All right, so let me do that too. Like, whatever people said that I should do, I just was like, let me see how to do it. Like, you should be a psychologist. Like, all right, well, what I got to do to be a psychologist? Like, how does that work? So I just kept all my options open and like put my energy where I could. And then wherever my passion took me is like, I say, well, yeah, wherever I really felt like I wanted to do the thing, that's where my energy would go more of. So it's like, all right, I'm not really into being a doctor. Like, I don't want to do 8 years of school. I like rapping though. I'm gonna go do this concert, and then go do this other show, and then go do like, oh, I'm having fun and I'm being productive. All right, and I'm still keeping up with my grades. I'm still keeping up with all that. But then I guess when you say purpose, it's just like, all right, what's the point of doing all this shit? Like, who am I impacting and what am I changing? I got a skill set. Can I get a job? I come out of college, I don't get a job right away. They say that's how it's supposed to work. Well, now what? So, luckily, I think having that creativity like always led me to, one, a place to vent, and two, a place to kind of like figure out what I want to do or say I can go back to this. But figuring out who I want to be or who I wanted to be in a 9-to-5 space was definitely a challenge, because I thought my 9-to-5 was going to be basketball. And once that started slipping, even though I got onto like a D1 program in a way, it was still like, whoa, look at these politics. Whoa, look at how they actually like treat people and athletes. And like, it was just some things that was like turning me off from it. And I'm like, I think I'm cool off this whole pipeline. I got to carve my own lane. And that also gave me purpose of like, now I have these skill sets. I think, I'm not as rare as probably whatever your test say, but I'm a rare individual myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, real rap.
For sure.
So
degrees,
like,
you gotta be rare.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta be a rare breed. So the purpose is there.
4 degrees.
You know what I'm saying? It's hot in here. So yeah, so just taking all that and then creating my own path and purpose, I think was kind of my way, because I had a lot of dreams, but my energy took me to certain, paths.
Yeah. Diamond, what about you? How did you, like, what was your path to finding your purpose? Was the seriousness that you was introduced to from your mom and your grandma, did that help you find what you were supposed to be doing in this life?
Yes and no. I am one of those people where I feel like I always knew when I was younger. I just didn't have the language. Like now in 2026, you see, because the creator economy has grown so much, you see different titles that you didn't hear when you was younger. Like nobody was coming to the job fair when I was a little kid, like, oh, I'm a creative director and this is what I do. So because of that, I never really had the language for what I wanted to do, but I feel grateful and also like almost emotional when I think back on it, and I be like, dang, I really have been interested in the same stuff for as far back as I can remember. So it makes me really happy and proud to be doing the things that I'm doing today, because it lets me know that I've always been walking in my purpose in a way, even if I didn't, again, know what that was at that time. But music, movies, media, like that has always been such a huge part of my identity. I was the kid that was always when MySpace was a thing. I was the one that was like getting paid to code people's websites for them and put certain stuff in the background and add the music and stuff like that was me all the way. And I've always been interested in like designing and interior design and making stuff, and just like all that has always been myself, even to the point of like the other day I was going through some of my archived posts on Instagram, because I was like, oh, you only have like 4 posts on Instagram, but I was going through posts that I've archived, and I was going back all the way from like 2018 and like it was a picture of me where I was like, I'm a marketing maven, and I was literally like in like 10th grade. I mean, in the 10th grade, I might have been in like I was like in college at the time, and I was just like, okay, I've always wanted to be this thing, and so I think the reason why I say like yes is because my grandmother was really a huge storyteller. Like I come from Black women who are storytellers in general, so I've always loved this idea of like telling a story, making a story make sense and making it fit into culture. And my grandma was like someone who was the queen of that. Like she gave me books when I was extremely young. That was the reason why I went to school. When I first went to college, I went to college for journalism, because my reading level was like one of college level when I was very early on in high school, because I had been reading books forever. Like that was like my thing. And I thought I wanted to go to school for journalism, because I was like, okay, like maybe my grandma had put me in all types of like oratorical contests as well. So I was really good at speaking. I was really good at reading. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to school for journalism. And when I got there, I got opened up to an entire world of like marketing and media that I didn't know existed at the time. I honestly didn't really even know what marketing was prior to me going to college. And I took up one marketing course. My advisor was like, oh, you need an elective. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take up marketing, because I was telling her what I wanted to do. She's like, you should try marketing 101. And I went over there to the business school, coming from like the art school. And I was like in all these, and I got like points taken off my final score on the first day, because in a business school, at least maybe at HBCUs, you have to come in like either a suit or a button up and a slacks, and I came in jeans and an orange shirt, and I just thought everything was all cool, and they were like, this is not how we do it over here at the business school. So once I did that, everything just kind of fell into place. Like I don't say that to say like, oh, it's easy and like it should be easy for you, but as far as my purpose, I really was just kind of being myself, and all the things fell into place. Like when I was a senior is a big thing where like everybody, again, because I went to school for my school, the school that I graduated from at Morgan State was split into 3 departments: multi-platform production, multimedia journalism, and then strategic communications. You could pick a track, but you essentially learn everything. Everybody learns everything. So it was a big deal at my school around the time we were all graduating. Like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing after this? And people were, you know, doing comms for the NBA. People were doing comms for the NFL and different record labels and stuff like that. And I was the person who didn't have anything going on until I got Rock Nation a week before graduation. So that's why I say everything for me has always been super divine timing and has happened just how it was supposed to happen, because without Rock Nation there would be no Rec, and then without Rec there would be no First Sunday. So I think everything was just like stepping stones, and it happened in exactly what order. That's why I say, I think doing anything that you do, you have to be connected to some kind of source, because you just have to believe that it's going to work out in the way that you're hoping that it's going to work out. And in my case, it just did. And that's why I feel like I can always confidently be like, yeah, I'm meant to be exactly who I am, because I just followed everything that was already laid out.
Oh, that's dope. That is dope. And in my case, that like even this conversation has me going like I had no clue what a purpose was. Like I was just making my like from childhood, like the goal to make money was instilled in me, because like, hey, somebody says, well, you want that, you gotta buy it. All right. My brain, that's like, say no more. I'm gonna go figure out a way to make some money. And then that was the took me through the years of like schooling. I'm just trying to make some money. And then to even get to the like all that stuff was no part, like I had no plan. Like I just told me how I was an athlete. I can see like having that straight pathway for me just was like, all right, do what you gotta do to survive here, do what you gotta do here. And then it's like the things like also at that time you can say women was a thing because I'm outside. So being outside, everyone telling you gotta get girls, you don't get girls, you wear young boy, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So like I got really good at doing that, but like I'm not in a purpose. Like I'm not like feeling no long-term goal. I'm not going to school to be like I went to college by accident. Like I had the grades, but I was going to school damn near by accident. I had to work study since like 10th grade.
Yeah.
So like my brother came back from Atlanta. It was like, yo, college would be fun. I was like, fuck, let's try it. Got accepted to Bloom. I knew so little about college. I went and joined a program for you not being smart enough to get to college. Like we had Act 101 was for you not to do it. And my mom was like, no, your brother in it. It's gonna be fun. You get to go and you get to go to school early and do all this instead of having. Cause I think I had to be a winter freshman because I applied so late because I wasn't going to college. And it's like you get to go in the summer now. I get there and the first thing they say is if you don't make the GPA, you don't come back. I'm like, what is going on here? Right. But like even from that, and then I think the pivotal moment in my life is when my grandma passed freshman year. Like it just like totally derailed anything I thought I was doing. And then I was like, I just was in college as a shell of myself. Like I barely like those for like that freshman sophomore year was my worst year. I barely went to school class. So like when that happened, and I was only like that was like right. I've been there forever. Like I'm one of them kids that went to grandma's house at like 13 and never left, like on my own, and just was running the street doing my thing. So like when that happened, and then being in school too, my mom had moved to Atlanta. I'm all alone. So like finding your purpose, it kind of like to get to this part, it is so much traumatic and work. Like even in that, my mom go right back to work. All right, hey, grandma passed you alone. I need some money. Get your ass back to work. So now I'm working in the campus. I'm hustling on the side. I'm making flyers, but I'm not fulfilling the goal. I'm not going to college to be in computer science. I'm not really caring about that. And it takes me to like getting to where you can kind of see like this gap bridges. Like podcasting was the big thing for me to be like Comeback Jack, early Joe Budden, early like those Murder Kill podcasts where they talk about, that was the one that gave us like, okay, regular people can do this. Cause like in the back of my brain that's been there. I love the media, love the content, love the making of the stuff, the business of it. But that's just something, that's what I do for fun. That's like, you can't make a lot like that's, I'm from Philly. I'm not moving to Los Angeles to pursue anything, to be nobody's waiters or diner, cause they made that horrible. Like anytime you hear about making it in the business, they make that seem so draining. So like, why would I ever want to do that? So when that bridge met, that's when I can truly say a light finally went off. So, all right, what if you did this? Because to me, the purpose question comes into play is you got to find something that fills you while you do it. Like this, while I do it, feel like that's something like, we having a good convo. That was he asked a great question just now. And that to me was like, that fills me up a little bit, like pause. But that
they gotta not feel like work.
But not even not to point not feel like work. It's giving something back to me. Like, all right, that was a great question. All right, let me step up my question. Jay didn't want to turn it on. Now we got to turn it on. Like that helps me in this part. But go ahead.
Wait, real quick, I just want to say though, I didn't know we all three had that in common, just like about our grandmoms passing. And I think that's such a thing that changes you and shapes you. And people who, because a lot of times, like, I know, Riz, you said you don't like know your grandparents, and I think sometimes people either don't know or they'll be like, oh, like I had my grandma was in my life, but we weren't that close. So I think sometimes it's hard to talk about it when you're not talking about it with people who had a relationship with their grandparents that was basically like their parents. So it's basically like people don't understand. I tried to tell people that multiple times when my grandma passed, like, yes, I'm telling you my grandma passed, but I'm basically telling you my mother passed, like, because like this is basically like somebody who raised me essentially. So I 100% feel that, and I can't imagine, because both of y'all just said y'all lost you lost your grandma. You was in high school or college?
College, freshman year.
Yeah, you said you lost your grandma in college too. So I can only imagine, because my grandma passed away in October of 2023, and I feel like just this year, in the past few months, I feel like I wouldn't even say coming out of grief, because I think grief is like up and down, but I feel like I am just able to turn my grief feeling into like, I'm just so grateful to have experienced a woman like that, versus just immediately, like for the past 3 years, I feel like anytime I would even think, like if I have an empty space in my brain where my brain just like goes like not thinking about anything, it would immediately go to my grandma, and it would immediately be emotional in like a very sad context. So I think I give y'all like grace and all of that, and just like praise for that, because I can't imagine like losing somebody that important to you while you're in school. I'm grateful that my grandma was able to. I was her only
losing it anytime.
Yeah, like literally her only grandchild that she got to see graduate, which meant so much to me. But I lost my grandma when I was 3 years out of college, so I can only imagine. But yeah, having to be in school and deal with that, I probably would just been a mess. I've been a mess the past 3 years. So
I'm still a mess. Like I still don't tell my grandma being sick up until that point. Like having a sick grandparent as a kid is such a like, and you got to be the person like rolling the wheelchair, going to do a thing. So like, I don't even like cuss some of this stuff in my childhood that is like that you still didn't have in process, because it was like to go from sick to gone. Yeah, my brain didn't even know you could do that as a kid. Like, what you mean? You just gonna be sick? Yeah, like that's all. I got to deal with the time. We got to get the oxygen. We got to do this. We got to do that. But gone. Yeah, and then me, I think life's the funny way, because my grandma passed like. I got to be home though. Like we came from school, just was winter break. I'm driving home and this nurse called me like, "Hey, it's time." But I don't know. Like I'm college mode. Like you fans keep it away from me. Right. So like I get the call, nurse like, y'all got to get here now. And I find her the first person and like see her transition like with my own eyes, because like that we had the sickness part to where they say you don't get to go to hospital no more. You know what I'm saying? So like that was crazy. Like in the situation, that grief and that trauma carried through my whole college career. Like I'm glad, like out of it, like I don't even think at any point in my life it would have derailed. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, like college derailed, but like okay, if that happens, college at least it happened when I didn't. I mean, I'm in debt, but like I ain't do nothing crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost like when you talk about something like that, no matter how it happened, it still hurt, because. For me, mine was the exact opposite, where like 2 weeks prior to my grandma going into the hospital, she was a part of a line dancing competition. And my grandma was line dancing her ass off, dancing, moving. My grandma was nowhere near sick. Like if somebody would have called me and told me something happened to my grandma, I would have been like, how? Like she was one of the healthiest moving women that I know, and went to the hospital for a stomach ache and never came home. So I think sometimes when you think of trauma, you think of like, oh, this person got shot right in front of me, or this person got hit by a car right in front of me. I'm traumatized, but the trauma of like bringing somebody who is completely healthy, like being with them and bringing them to the emergency room, and the doctor's telling you like, oh, we don't know what's going on, but everything's fine. And then, oh, she has a couple months to, oh, she has a couple days in a span of a week is definitely super traumatizing, and it definitely sticks with you. Not to get too deep on y'all.
No, I think loss is traumatizing and absence is traumatizing. Yeah. Like the relationship with my grandparents, they're all in different varying levels of connected or not connected. But the big one of the big ones will be my paternal grandmother, and she passed like a few months right before I was born. So a lot of the grief that my family was carrying, and then there was another, my cousin, who was my mom's best friend, who was her first cousin, passed away like right before I was born, on top of a bunch of other crazy things. But experiencing that grief, and these were people who were excited for me to come out of the many who weren't. So like not having that right there is like, whoa. Like, and you can see the impact that loss had on my parents, and then what I'll never get to experience. So like I always kind of fiend for like that elderly connection with somebody's, grandmom, or just somebody who's older. My mom, she was raised by her great grandparents, so she always has like a connection to like older people as well, which is like, I don't know, it just be making me feel for you guys as well. And my partner, she also is really close with her grandmom, so like I kind of get like a connection through that way. But I also see like how pivotal that is. And when you say there's not a man around and grandparents step in, like super pivotal. So like I can't imagine, losing her grandmom or anybody, and we actually both kind of lost our grandfathers in different ways and different connections within the last couple of years, and that was a challenge. Yeah.
I think one thing that I learned from the whole situation, like I said, my grandmom. So my junior year in college, I lost football. I got injured, which led to me end up being cut from the team. I didn't play when they asked me to play. And then my high school relationship officially ended when I was a junior. Probably as a synthesis of a lot of things going on, whatever the case would be, that ended. And then, my grandma was dying of cancer, and she ended up passing in the spring semester, but she was dying in the fall semester. This is all happening in the same time. And I remember I asked my grandfather after my grandma passed, he seemed to be in good spirits. He's another person you would never see any of the tension or any of the pain on his face. You always see him with a smile. That's how he lived his life. I asked him, like, why, how could you have so much joy in this time? And he said, I'm just blessed that I had a chance to know her. And that was the same thing that, Diamond was saying, when you eventually get to the point. And I think from him, of so much loss, that you realize that it's life after death. And I think that's what that semester and that year of my life told me. And that's kind of what reflected in everything I do. So it's hard for me to get super caught up in like losing or testing a real life relationship that I have with people over some work stuff or over some stuff that's going to be fleeting. Because one thing I think we all have to keep in mind is life after death. Like after this job that you thought you was going to have forever, after they let you go or they fold or whatever, it's life after that. After you've done something for so long and you no longer have the ability to do it, it's still life after that. After the relationship that you thought was going to be the one and it no longer exists, it's life after that. So cherish the relationships that you get to keep through the seasons. And I think that brings me to my next point of how life is serious and the seriousness of life is do y'all believe that community is a part, like taking community seriously is a part of taking life seriously? Because I hear a lot of people when they think about taking life seriously, they talk about themselves personally. And I think sometimes we discount like the factor that community plays in like whether or not we have a decent quality of living or the people around us have a decent quality of living. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I was just, to what you said, I agree with everything you just said. That was bars. Because I do think, like, I think about what, like, Lauren London said during Nipsey Hussle's funeral a lot, where it's like, if you love, just because, like, to love something and for it to have been good in your life doesn't mean that it necessarily lasted forever. And I think we had to like let that narrative go when it comes to like you could have had something in your life and it taught you something and it could have been the most pivotal relationship in your life, or whether it was really your relationship with sports, your relationship with a girl, your relationship with your grandma, but that does not mean that it has to last forever in order for it to make it real. Like, and that's not even what love is anyway. Love is just like an experience that you get, and however long you get with that experience, you should feel grateful, but that doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. And then when I think of like what you just said, I think of like, I just actually put this on Threads the other day because I heard like somebody, it was this article that I read and the headline of it was just saying like the price of community is expensive, and it's also the inconvenience. Like that's what you pay to have community, where I do take community very seriously because I feel like, which is also again one of the foundations of like my agency, where I feel like the only way, like community is the answer to so many different things, so many different world problems and issues that we face on a day-to-day basis. But I think when I think about like rec, right, like something I would have said like this time last year I was about to get laid off and didn't know it, but if you would have asked me, I would have been like, yeah, that's my dream job. Like I hope to be here for another 4-5 more years. There was so much I wanted to do there, and a lot of people will say, oh, you already did a lot, but so much I wanted to do, and so much I had planned, and that unfortunately didn't last forever and got snatched away from me. But the one thing that remained true was community. Like the night I got laid off, I was bawling, like uncontrollably sad. I didn't know what my life was going to be, my friends literally gathered on my roof and just kicked it with me. And then I threw a party for getting laid off because I was in a manic stage. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So I'm about to just throw this big party with all my friends and like celebrate this next chapter. And JJ came and JJ kept saying, you got a lot of friends. You got a lot of friends. Like, it's so many people here. And I was like, I don't think I have a lot of friends. But when I look at those pictures from that party, I was like, I do. Like, this was all community. People that I met through rec and people that I love that pulled up in support of like, you're going to be okay. Right. And like this whole time, like JJ actually was the first person from me being laid off to now was the first person to give me a paid opportunity outside of my job. Like I also was the first person to be like, yo, come do this, come pull up back on set. It was my first time being back like on set in a production environment since I got laid off. And JJ is a part of my community. Like these people are like people that I love and that I care about. But I also think in a world where everything is so individualistic, people are always like, prioritize yourself, self-care, self-this. We also have to remember that to have a village means you have to be a villager, meaning you have to show up for people. And when you don't feel like it, you might not be, your homie might be the type that go to the club. You might not be the club type person, but it's his birthday. He want to go to the club. You got to go to the club. That's your man's. Like, you got to, because that's the part of having community. Because when it's stuff for you, like, for example, I'm, again, in Philly, born and raised here, but a lot of like my friends, they don't like a lot of the stuff that I like. Like, they're not going to Percy, like these places, these like artsy type, they're not that. So like when I want them to pull up to something that might be a little weird or out the box for my birthday, and it might be around people that they don't know, I want them to come. So it's like when you want to go to the little hole in the wall bar spot for your birthday, I'm gonna pull up, because even if this is not necessarily my environment, I think you do it for the sake of community. So.
Yeah. I think that's a great part, and I feel like people have no idea like how fulfilling your life could be if you decenter yourself. Just to cut, like, you don't got to do it every day. You can't do it every day. You have to center yourself some days. But the day, like, y'all know how I'm showing up for everybody. I'm pulling up the shows. I'm pulling up to whatever you got going on. I'm like, JJ might be late, but he gonna be there.
He will be late, y'all.
He
not might be late. He gonna be late. But we get your point. We get your point.
But the other side of that is some of the opportunities that I felt connected to. Like when I say that, like when I see Riz have a good song, it make me feel even deeper, because we was in the studio together. Like we was trying to make good songs. You feel what I'm saying? When I see Diamond have a good event, when I see Jay take a good shot, when he sent me something that looked good, I'll be happy because I was there. And it's a different happiness than like when somebody just send you a postcard. It's like, the post, oh, you look good, whatever. It's different. You was in the trenches. It's like, oh, I see how you got it for real. And I think that's a super, like, there is something for you in community and for being a selfless person as well. And that's on the material side, because the same opportunity I was able to give Diamond, the same opportunity she was able to give me 1,000 times over. You feel what I'm saying? So
it
it's
always
like,
comes back to if the community is real, it's always gonna come back.
Exactly that. And I think somehow, somewhere, America, whatever, got perverted to say that like you have to literally idolize yourself and the preservation of your own to live a good life, when it's really the opposite.
Yeah,
you know
that's not the ideologies that we were traditionally or culturally raised on. Like, we were all about community, village, like coming together, especially as a people. So I feel like that, having that connection through all of us is like how we were able to find our purpose, because it wasn't just about we want to find our purpose just for ourselves. It was like for our family, for, our community, for the things that we grew up around that really connected us and gave us like more of a purpose to figure out how to, I'm kind of rolling, but but doing both things. But then that also makes me think about, you guys said purpose, but how do you feel about legacy? Like, do you feel like your legacy is connected to your purpose, or is your legacy just based on who literally follows you that you bring into this world, or is it like the impact of your community? Like, do you guys think about the long-term aspects of
I think for my joint, my greatest like example of legacy, it started with my grandpop. I was a person that was fortunate to have my father. in my life, and my father being like a dad for real. Like he was like a dad for real. He wasn't even. I think a real dad and a real man and a real father is a man to his community, because you have to be. You feel what I'm saying? Like you feel that same connection to all the young boys on the block or in the youth league or whatever. But I think it to me, what legacy looked like started with my grandpa for real. Like I'm respected by a whole block, a whole neighborhood because of what my grandpa did. Not because of nothing, not because of nothing I had going on. I was not hard. I was not none of those things. But if I go on that block, I feel safe off the strength of my grandpa, off the strength of who my grandpa was. And so that's what I started to feel as legacy when I was young. I didn't understand like why he like that was his example of community. He would have all the young boys from the block cut the grass. It's not just me. Like I'm not gonna teach you, I'm gonna teach all of y'all, and I'm gonna give y'all some money to do it. Or I'm gonna give y'all some money to help clean Miss Such and Such house down the street, and y'all gonna do it together. Like I didn't understand what he was doing, but he was building community, he was building bonds, he was so that now that we older, we all can remember those times. And it's like when we have those thoughts of being low or whatever the case would be, like remember when, you know, such and such did such and such and we was doing such and such together. It's like it was like building a community was foundational to his legacy, so it became foundational to mine. So when I think of what I want my legacy, like if I died right now, I truly believe all three of y'all would carry my name. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's what legacy is. But before it comes to like kids, or before it comes to, I'm gonna carry my grandpa. I literally carry his name. I'm the fourth of my name, so I carry all their names. I'm gonna carry my dad's name the same way. But I know it's all these other people who gonna do the same, because they were the men that they were to everyone, not just to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Agreed.
No, yeah. For me, it definitely as kid, like you kind of can get caught up with it being the fact that you have like I have actual like I have two men that's going to carry the name, whatever that is. But like to me, after my brother's funeral, like it changed in my brain whatever you thought that was going to be, because it made me think about also like another pivotal few, like our barber, his mom's funeral. And I like both of those funerals played like, because what the people were saying, like her coworkers, like my brother, like our barber brother, his mom funeral, her coworkers were getting up there and giving some of the best tear jerking stories, and it's like you wouldn't even know these people knew this person, but because you were a positive person in this person's life, they did it. And then my brother who passed, we couldn't even get to the college friends because the middle school friends, elementary friends was going on telling their stories. That was it for us. You cousin went to school with us, and they got to tell some, but that was it, because it's just so much in the. You made sure every point in your life the people around you felt valued and loved, and they remember that for the last 20 years. So like, and that has definitely been for me a shift in. It's not just who you have coming up; it's what they're gonna get told about you also. Like, cause like in losing my brother, his daughter, like in my brain, I'm like, I can't wait to be able to tell you about your dad. So like in that situation, you want to be able to have them tell the right story. Like, all right, like I also been to the funerals. Like I'm a hood nigga, so I've been to the funerals of niggas where it's the stories is hood as hell. Yeah, we got the fifth from the store, and he used to roll the back, like, and that's cool for a position, but you kind of want the story to be fulfilled and long, no matter, because we don't pick when we transition, but you can pick what you do every day up until that point. So like,
I agree. I think it's exactly what y'all said. I think it's really about legacy is about how you impact people, what people say about you when you're gone, and how they uplift your name and how they speak about you in rooms that you're no longer in. And I think that's like the end all be all. Like if you can get to that point, I feel like you have done a successful job on this earth if you're just impacting people in a positive way. Like I went to around the presidential election. When was that at this point? When was that? How many years?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is, that's wild. But I went to my voting spot is Finley, right up here, up the street. And we when I got there, I was talking to this lady. My grandma used to always volunteer at the polls. I was just talking to her. She was like, oh, because you got your HBCU merch on. And I was talking to her, having a conversation. She said, are you Thelma's granddaughter? And I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, oh my God, like you just remind me of her. Like I never told this woman where I was from or anything. Random woman. And she was like, I know your grandmother. And that to me is like, makes me happy, because it's like, like, like I always want that to be the case. Like, so yeah, I love that.
no, and I mean.
But all right, let's get into the break room. Kick your feet up, grab your drink, loosen your tie. Is it more? Is it more to that?
Yeah, I'm saying we missing Monty. She'd be right on it. Let's
Right.
go.
I
I
think
miss you, Monty.
Yeah.
shout out to Monty. You know, all All right, Jay, you actually leading it off. What's going on in the
All
world?
right, so let's get started on first with some in white peopleness.
And white people do.
Yeah, it's a great day for them. So Trump has just created a new weaponized fund. He's filling it with 1.8 billion of your money to give his supporters from January 6th, neo-Nazis, anybody who kind of been wronged by Trump. Some can go for this.
By Trump, been wronged by Trump.
No, wronged by the government.
Okay.
But by supporting Trump, like they were supporting Trump, but the government was against.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah, right.
So they can now go to the Department of Justice and apply for this $1.676 billion, an anti-weaponized fund. It started off from his leaked tax returns from during the election year. He when his taxes came out and they were saying that he wasn't paying any. So also this fund also gives his kids immunity in himself from all current acts and wrongdoings.
Wow.
So yeah, how do
So
does
he
that
gets
even
immunity in the same bill that has 1.8 billion dollars to give to insurrectionists.
Yes, because you can't weapon. I mean, they do too. You can't come at us like for like he pretty much trying to put a bill in to say that you can't if you support me, you good. So like you can go get taken care of.
That's what I seen. The internet discourse was essentially that a lot of the people that would be affected, all of the people that were part of the January 6th insurrection count. So like they can get their like legal fees paid, or if they went to jail, that can get paid. And then some of them actually get essentially reparations. Like
Wow.
That's crazy.
you know, for like
Senate's
wrong-
going crazy
for
over it.
wrongdoing.
Jasmine Cocker got a great video. Go tune into it, watch it where she
But
was.
my thing is, we was told, I don't know about y'all, but I thought it was hard for presidents to do things.
Yeah,
It seemed
he
like
just
bro
does
is
everything.
doing whatever.
No, literally, it
Flesh.
seems like when it's good stuff for us, it takes them a long time. They want to be operating 45
red tape.
business days.
Hold on.
But then when
Mal
they do some
Dami's
weird shit,
disproving
it's
that
always
though.
quick.
Maldami is just about
Yeah,
to be a
man,
year
right,
in
right,
office,
right.
and
Man,
he's
Donnie's
doing.
He's
He
amazing.
filled all the
Do y'all
potholes.
think he's gonna run for president?
He can't.
No, he can't.
He can't.
Yeah, he's
No.
a foreigner technically.
Oh my god, I didn't know. Well, I knew he was a foreigner, but I didn't know.
But in the situation, they pretty much. I just lost my train of thought because he's a foreigner. That I don't know why that sent me down a rabbit hole. It sent
But
me
no,
down-
but what you were saying,
No.
what you were saying is right though. It's not really a Democrat or a Republic. It's not because of the law.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
because of y'all. It's because of y'all. Trump
Yeah.
came in there with an agenda and some people who knew how to shake
And he
something.
learned the first time. You gotta think this man. The first
Right.
time
He
y'all
had never
handicapped him
turned.
a
He had
little
never
bit,
turned.
and he
Yeah.
said, "All right, what I need Supreme Court. What else I need?
Yeah.
Right.
What
right.
else I need?
Right.
I need devout people. Republicans. It's no more. You could because I mean at first John McCain was like a very big popular person. Like Republicans was split. Like it wasn't this all MAGA. MAGA wasn't like
Right.
MAGA's run has been long. Also, we ain't even get discussing how long MAGA's been like this 12-year run. But like in this situation, it is like you can't speak to how much like abuse of power this is. Like for a president to do, or for like any like this is damn near like we had like the Ronald, like the worst presidents doing implement, like you get to like war on drugs level of like things he's doing to the what like the ramifications is what I'm saying. Like you're gonna see down the line that this has been
Listen,
destroying communities. Like he like putting this money into these racist bigots' hands is going to do more. Like people just thinking they getting money, but this is creating a
gonna
weaponized
turn around.
community. Like they
This
guns
make-
is affordable, nigga. Like
this made me think of two things. Number one, I don't know about y'all, but I remember when Barack Obama was president and everybody was like, yeah, he can't just give us reparations. Like he can't like
oh
he-
yeah, Trump needs
Yeah.
to
Like, what
sit
you-
down.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
why
you
not,
see what I'm
though?
saying? But
Yeah.
Trump give it January 6th happened what like 4 years ago, something like that.
Something like
Something recent.
Yeah.
And they got $1.8 billion in that little
Yeah.
how much is mine? That's what I'm
5
trying.
years ago.
Why it
6
can,
years ago.
is do our reparations count? If it's for anybody who's been wronged by the government, I indeed have been wronged.
That's what I was trying
You
to
see what
think.
I'm
Like,
saying?
could the Black Panther Party or somebody,
Right, can the Black
apply
Panther
for
Party
it? But
apply?
it seemed like he said, but they had to be supporting Trump specifically. So if that's the clause, then I don't know. But
Right.
if it's just we've been wronged by the government, we all got a case.
Right.
So,
that can't be the
yeah.
clause can't like it can't be on paper that you were supporting Trump. Like essentially, it has to be something like you felt wronged, and then they do some type of determination. They read your application like a grant and say, yeah, actually, you have been wrong. Let me give you this cheese, and they just know that it's for that. You feel what I'm saying?
But it shouldn't exist. Like in a situation you bringing up, Barack Obama was a man of honor and class. Like this isn't like it isn't like Trump is doing this and it's all okay. This shit gonna get kicked out. Like everything else has been getting kicked out, and the people then they gonna sue and get the bread. Like they're just running the game. It's running the gauntlet till midterms. Hey. You know why this happened? You just saw how many people won in this past election that support the Democratic way and is trying to get Trump out of here. So like going towards that notion is scary to them. So yeah, of course I'm about to run it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do as many things.
I've been running it up. Hey, that last $10 billion I just took from y'all from suing the IRS for themselves for leaking this. I need some more. Another 1.8 billion. It's talking about he's trying to get $1 trillion. It's in a trillion fund coming. This is not anybody working with honor, ethics. This is pretty much trying to take it for everything it's worth and just doing it to do it.
I ain't gonna lie though. If you was black and you was president, would you just hurry up and get that joint passed?
Oh, reparations be the first day.
10 trillion to my 10 trillion to the homies.
Wow.
Y'all can figure it out.
The money, the land, 39 acres and a mule. Hey, guess what? Half of America go to black people. Just because we gonna compound the interest because y'all took so long. So like we just gonna take half of America and give it to black people and see what happens.
10 trillion to the homies. Y'all can figure it out.
Yeah, that's
if you sue me, you sue me.
That too, but sign up and get your land, brother.
To the homies, y'all figure it out is insane.
That's crazy,
like,
bro. We gonna start
black people.
another war.
I don't know. Sometimes when I think about like the government and stuff, like I'm not super like brushed up on politics or whatever, but I do think that it's crazy to think about how slavery was like common, and then now you see how the effects are so deep from it this many years later. Like we are still as a people trying to recover. Like I don't even think they knew. Like, you know, sometimes I wonder like if black people knew or even if white people knew how this would deeply affect the race for hundreds of years to come. Right. Even where it's like now sub examples of racism within the race itself. Like it's so crazy how like I don't even think they intended for it to be this deep on this. Like they really left such a mark on like a race of people that is probably, I'm sad to say, going to have forever effects. Like I don't think at this point what happened, like obviously slavery can't be undone, but I'm saying the effects of it can be undone. Like it's almost like it has become such ingrained in us as a people where it's like you got genres of music that have been birthed out of this thing, and just like again, like you can now, it's such a complex thing to even begin. Like I start to think about how this is just how my mind works. I go down a rabbit hole of thinking like, how do even teachers get to like start to even teach this thing, because it's so big, and it goes down into like you have black people who, well, not by definition, but can be racist to each other or prejudiced to one another. There's colorism. Like there's such deep things that even go beyond the surface level of just racism as just a word. Like it's so deep. And I just think like even through the government, like the government is set up for people of color to fail, for people of color to struggle, for people of color that just have it harder than everybody else. Like the closest train stop to me is 52nd Street. And sometimes I'll walk around and be like, yo, this is literally basically like a hub for poverty, essentially. Like you look around and it's just like, dang, like how is it that as a people, we all, not how, but it's just like, it's crazy to see how like slavery and racism have landed us to where there are still groups and hubs of just black people that are living in poverty, like deep poverty, that are struggling. Like, and I just think like, it's just crazy. I guess the only word I got for it is just wild.
I think racism with that classism, different thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think one of the best points that you just brought up though is how the racism is integrated into the collective minds of black people, so that we ended up revering power and whiteness in such a way that we replicate the system amongst each other. Like, like even when there are no white people involved,
he getting bars off.
Sometimes, not sometimes, in a lot of our societies, we still introduce a level of classism, a level of division, a level of skepticism, like y'all was saying, like, shoot, I might be suffering from the effects. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's like,
Yeah.
can I trust you for real? Like Harriet Tubman and all that.
Yeah.
Like, do I gotta pop this nigga? Like, like imagine how many times she
To
really
freedom.
Yeah, like imagine how many times. Like
she
I'm
had to
trying to
pop
get
that?
niggas. I'm trying to get
Oh,
niggas.
you looking like you want to go back.
Yeah.
Ha!
Like imagine you trying to do the right thing and realize the people around you not. And so now you like if they go, you gonna blow up the spot.
Yeah.
So that just can't happen. So it's like I got to gatekeep amongst the people that's trying to find the freedom, and we especially see that in the black upper class. It's like because y'all gonna drain us. That's a lot of the thought. Like you can't be giving to your little cousins and all that. You gotta because they gonna drain the pot, and now all of us back to broke. And it's like
You already going broke.
the thought of a finite resource and these things are something that's simply not true. It's about management. It's about the knowledge and the education and the thought that even when it comes to like colorism and those type things, like the lighter skin is things we still see the effects of today. So that I had the same question as a teacher, as an educator, whatever. How do we break? Because we got to start. And I think the other thing to our credit is there have been movements like, you know, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, and them who have started to break the cycle. They just started killing people at that point. And at the point in which they started killing people, it gets more difficult. Introduce crack into the community in the 80s. That's how I think we end up back here where 52nd Street looks like 52nd Street. I think we coming off a zombie wave. For real, like that's what it feels like.
Drugs
to me.
work
Like,
so well. They did it 3 times.
Drugs,
Like,
the drugs
they been
work
hitting
so
it.
well that I
Yeah.
just got stuck.
Yeah.
And that gets passed on to whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think they could have guessed the ramifications of all of the seeds that they were planting. I mean, like you can say we're gonna make them hate each other, but like then where they take it from there, it's like whoa, like
Yeah.
Right.
y'all like took
Like,
it
well,
and
I didn't
ran
think it was
for
gonna
it,
get
you
this
know
I
what I'm
deep.
couldn't even have
Crazy.
thought, like,
These niggas really do hate each
No,
other.
they really do. So it's like it's definitely that, but that's like it's definitely the seeds that came from like in which I think. Well, I don't want to get too whatever, but like the seeds in which that
go ahead.
their community came from, because it came from like if every human came from Africa, the first humans came from Africa, and then everything derived from there, and it's just scientifically proven. Then like there are certain benefits you have from having a darker complexion, from having you know, different types of shapes and body parts and things like that. So just from like a human being perspective, in order to preserve their race, because this is even what some of the proud people say, like they want to preserve their people or preserve their kind because they don't want to go extinct. So it's really a fear of being lesser than, and the only way to assert that is to be so super selfish and dog eat dog world. And if I can make them feel like that about one another, it's going to be they're doing their job for us, where you got people who voted for Trump that now feel regret for voting for him. So then I guess my question would be to you guys, like when we're talking about how serious do you take your life and how serious people should take their life, do you guys take voting serious? Do you think that there are barriers when it comes to voting where even before we didn't have the right to vote and now we do have the right to vote, but now people can't read? So when you go to the polls and you got to read those questions or all of that can be intimidating, and then people are like, well, I don't need to vote, I'm not going to vote. But do you not want to vote because you don't understand? Do you not want to vote because you can't read? Do you not want to vote because you just feel like your vote doesn't matter, which isn't true because they're still taking your money? Like, how serious do you guys think people should take these elections, including the one that just passed?
I think for me personally, I take voting real serious. I just had to cuss Jay out the other day because he tried to stop me from the pools.
This is what this whole topic was for.
He tried to stop me from getting to the pools like the ancestors. You feel what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was on the back of the bus. I was trying to fight for my freedom with through the dogs and the water hoses and all that, trying to get to the pools. And you wouldn't expect that from somebody who looked like you. You see what I'm saying? And that's that internalized racism that we talk about. You see what I'm saying? So I think you know, we did on the winners culture itself, we had brought Keith up here the other day and we tried to speak towards some of the candidates. And I want to keep doing more things like that because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of my life I was voting because it's a family tradition.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? My grandparents grew up in a world that you couldn't vote. So they said they never missed a vote in their life. And I just took that to mean that's what that means. We never miss a vote. Like so I'm just clicking buttons. I don't know who the freak this is or what they do. Or like I'm clicking
That's a lot of people.
all down the drawing blue. You see what I'm saying? I know I can't go red because something wrong with the red. I'm not sure what it is, but I can't go red. So I got to click the blue button. As of recently, you know, I've been paying more attention and it just sparked the thought in me like, yo, I got to know who these people are. And more people need to know who these people are, even if you just consume the content by accident. Maybe you just seen one of the winners culture posts and now you know about Chris Rad. Great. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's important I think I've been doing it without taking it seriously.
Mhm.
The majority of my voting life, but now I'm definitely taking it more serious because I see the direct ramifications of funding. I see the direct ramifications, like Jay was saying earlier. Mom Donnie snapped and filled the potholes, creating opportunities for immigrants, creating
Cut the
like
$10 billion
cut the deficit. Like
Wow.
he just really
Love
boots on the ground with the situation to say that it's like we have gotten introduced to it as a politician, as a figurehead, but that is not in actuality true. And you can see two different sides from Mondani to Trump, that there are real differences that you can make in somebody's direct life by holding that office.
Right.
You know?
Campaign is
Makes sense.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like just from start to finish, from him campaigning to getting elected, he's just great. Like 10s all around. But I agree, JJ. I think voting is super important. I understand, especially if you are my age, why you can start to feel like your vote might not matter as much, because if you're my age, then you voted and Trump got elected the first time,
Right.
and
Then
then
voted
the second
again.
time, and then Joe Biden. But then if you also are my age, then you probably voted for Kamala, and then see Trump get in again,
in
and
high percentages. Like it's not just voted, like came out and drove.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of us voted
Got-
and still.
so
he
that
still
can
got
feel
elected.
defeating, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to the presidential election. That can really feel defeating, because when I tell you, like, I was not playing about Kamala Harris, like, despite, the things that I didn't necessarily like about her or agree with what she was saying or agree with some of the things that she stood by, I was out there first thing in the morning. Like, I was not playing about Kamala Harris. Like, I was so excited to see not only a woman take office, but a black woman like that. I just wanted to see that. I felt like I needed that in my lifetime. So I was super disappointed by that outcome.
And she did
like,
take vice president first ever. Like, put some respect
yeah,
on
I
that.
know, but it was just different. Like, and I felt like she really did put together a really good campaign. I felt like she was very boots on the ground, even if it was
at the
for-
last second too.
yeah, like even if it was for what she wanted. Like, I feel like Mom Donnie, he gives me that he really loves New York and he really loves the people of New York. And I feel like he's boots on the ground because that's
That
just
mustard
what,
seed.
like, that's him. That's his whole thing. I don't know if Kamala was just doing it because, like, oh, I'm running for president, but I felt like she was running a good campaign. And I really did think, because of everything that happened in my mind at that time, there was no way that we were gonna put Trump back in office. Like, there was just no way. So I thought the only possible outcome, or the only like realistic answer, was going to be Kamala. So I can understand why people sometimes feel like, yo, my vote don't matter, or like I'm getting excited about a thing, and then that opportunity gets kind of like ripped right in front of me. But I do think when it comes to like council members and like those local elections, I think those probably have even more deeper impact in like your city. So I think people should treat those just as important. But I'm still hopeful. Like, even though I understand why people might feel like, oh damn, like this just feels defeating and discouraging, I'm still hopeful. I'm still going to vote every time and show up. But yeah, it just sucks. I guess what I'll say is, like, I hate how the voting system works. I really do. And I can't even remember how it works right now, because I feel like we learned about it in school growing up many times, like the college vote, the electoral votes, like all of these different things. But I just wish it was a little bit more cut and dry where people could understand it, because I think that's also what turns people off, because it's like, oh, say I vote and like say we got the majority votes in my state, but like we don't win, like something like that. So I feel like people sometimes it gets confusing for people, because it's not as simple as a direct vote. It's not like you're voting for prom king and prom queen in high school, where it's like the person
Not
who
one
has
vote.
literally the most votes
votes.
wins. It's not that simple. It's not that cut and dry. So I get why people kind of are just like turned off by it.
That makes sense.
No, for sure. And I think that like the main solution to this is kind of like what JJ is doing, is the community getting back involved into politics, like kind of like how people do in the black church and some of those, and how that has had some resurgence. But some, like I saw that there's a church out there giving homeowner loans right now to the congregation based upon, saying, tithes and things. So
Fire.
that's fire. And but I like growing up, like when you think about like our grandparents' age and how much integrated the black community was in every aspect, from religion to politics, like the barbershop owner knew the political candidate because he's coming in to get his haircut to talk to you guys about his policies. It's not the commercial what you're seeing. It's really because
person in
who's
real
doing
life,
it, who in
yeah.
real life, who does the thing, and being able to speak into that, like having an influence, like JJ doing this in a certain way where he spoke about each candidate. That doesn't happen. People call your phone like, yo, what are you doing? Like, and that needs to happen so we can educate, because all the candidates have a ramification on us, and then we can get back to a communal opinion in politics to where we are all trying to. Because Maldami is the ramifications of a good block. He grew up in a good neighborhood. Like, people were pouring into him as well because he seen the issues and immediately attacked them. He talked to those people in the streets. He been in the car when the tire go flat from the pothole, or sometimes you stuck. It's the car's done. Like, in a situation, so you kind of can see like that effect. So like, you got to reinvest in the community. Like, all right, we've been talking about like starting young with politics. So now, like, hey, yo, there's a way here. See this guy? He did it. Here's how you do it. There's a path to this. That it, and he's definitely not like and he's doing it in a way that has never been. He sits and talks to Trump. Trump gave them, hey, New York need money. That's my home. Trump giving it, and he's adored Maldami. They say that's for different reasons, but whatever the reason, he's working the system flawlessly. But that's not a one day decision. That started early in his life. Somebody decided like, yo, we gonna make sure you, hey, you want to do it for real? We're gonna help you do this, and that tiered over, and he didn't figure anybody came behind. So I think if we can get to somehow that community as a whole society of us to where our vote matters, because I look at so many other communities where their vote directly impacts their community. The fund is coming. Like, we seen it a couple times, and when things happen in Philly, that community got laws made and funds created off of an incident that happens to black people every day. So like, I think it's definitely a time and place to where we can get more involved, and I think it needs to also start with doing like with the youth and making sure everyone understands like, yo, pay attention to that kid. I feel like in our program we got a kid that might be one of these kids that is that intelligent, but that open-minded to like figure like has a different view on the world, and it's like, why isn't it perfect? And I think I can see them going like, I'm gonna make it perfect. So like, you gotta recognize that and help them ascend to where they're gonna be.
Right. So wait, why'd you stop JJ from going to the polls though?
Because I had to get back to my kids. Like this is a whole
other thing. Oh, right.
Shot was found. I just took it and moved on. Man.
I wanted to give you space though. Just make sure.
Just know the
Nah,
polls.
Riz,
Answer me one question. How long the polls open for?
7 to 8.
I think
Okay.
I think he got possessed by the demon of a white man, and I think sometimes
Okay. And that's where I draw the line.
And Elizabeth Warren has made this point repeatedly. I think she's made it in reference to you and others. Are able to pay a lower tax rate, even though you're paying an enormous sum in taxes, a lower tax rate than maybe I am.
These people sometimes say that I don't pay taxes. That's not true. I pay billions of dollars in taxes. And it's a perfect, again, if people want me to pay more billions,
right,
then let's have that debate. But don't pretend, that's going to solve the problem. You could double the taxes I pay, and it's not going to help that teacher in Queens. I promise you. So you can't connect those two things, not logically. There are more examples. Why is rent expensive? Why is rent so expensive? I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention. Making the tax system more progressive. We'll talk about, making the tax system more progressive. How about we start by having the nurse in Queens not pay taxes?
I think he means that like for example, I ain't gonna lie. So like I'm about to be in a phase where I can rent a crib out. If I rent to a regular person, I might get $1,500-$1,600 a month. If I rent to like a government entity, like we talking about Section 8, or we talking about like veterans, or we talking about addiction, 25, 3, 4 a month.
Oh wow!
You see what I'm saying?
Because the government is going to pay a portion.
Because the government pays the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, the government pays the whole thing.
Yeah, they just got to pay their voucher to the government.
They just got to pay their voucher to the government. So it's like, if that's the case, then rent for a regular person got to be $2,000. Because you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be, but like that's the choice that people are making. Now, what my actual choice is probably gonna be is I'm gonna give the property over to Rashid, because he run a property management company, and let him do whatever he gonna do just because I don't really want the hassle of it. But I can clearly see why rent is so high because it's like, you know what I'm saying?
All right, this is his other clip.
Talk about making the tax system more progressive. How about we start by having the nurse in Queens not pay taxes? Why is somebody at all? Why is a nurse in Queens who makes $75,000 a year paying more than $1,000 a month in taxes? That's $1,000 a month that could help with rent or groceries or anything. And so, and by the way, do you know what that all adds up to? The bottom half of income earners in this country pay only 3% of the taxes. It's only 3%. We can find 3%. So we don't have, it's a small amount of money for the government, that. And really, and the more I thought about it, to me, it's kind of absurd that we're doing this. We shouldn't be asking this nurse in Queens to send money to Washington. They should be sending her to
Princess Tiana or The Little Mermaid.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, he 1,000% right because it come back to something that we talked about on the pod before when Monty was talking about ending world hunger. It's like the billionaires could put up billions of dollars to end world hunger and it wouldn't end because we don't have the structure or the infrastructure to end world hunger. You don't have the ability to pass the food out. You don't have the ability to
That still doesn't mean you shouldn't give it.
to screen. It almost does because it's like, think about something like the Red Cross. Think about something like the Red Cross, right? People give billions of dollars to the Red Cross every year. We don't know what they doing. And it don't never seem like it's helpful or there when we need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see this situation, like the biggest joint when they flooded in New Orleans or when they flooded in Haiti. And it's like, where are they at? Right. We gave y'all getting billions of dollars in funding. And so what he's saying is not wrong. Like, or what we were just talking about when we was talking about Brooke or whatever. They giving millions of dollars, but the problem isn't the facility at the end of the day. Right. The problem is something else. Right. So he in his head, the logical conclusion is just like mine. When I go to Target and I don't go to Target, let me take that off the joint. When I go to right, when I go to wherever, right, the grocery store or whatever, Acme, and they say, do you want to donate 99 cents to whoever? 99 cents ain't nothing, but I don't want to do it because in my head, I don't know what y'all doing with that cheese. I donated $20 to some fund to help an African child that they got me to sign up for like 3 years. Damn. I don't know what the freak happened to the young boy. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what the freak happened. So it's like
they used to let you video chat with the person. Like,
you follow what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm doing something, but it's like from his angle, he probably like, I'll give y'all 200 billion. Then what? I can do something better with that. Because in his head he can't.
I agree.
But again, okay, taxes isn't that kid that is that on that flyer. Taxes is the reason your roads get paid, your street lights. So you got to give something. He
our roads paid.
Our roads are paid. And like I've been in worse roads. So like in a situation of the government and who in this he pretty much said I'm not paying taxes and you not paying taxes. So like who paying taxes?
That's not what he said. He said I pay billions of dollars.
His company pays taxes. Billions of dollars. He doesn't pay anything in taxes himself as an individual.
So look, right? Whether that's like there's $1 billion coming from Bezos' side, right? There's billions of dollars, and like he was saying, 3% come from the common person. So it's like all he's saying is take the 3% off the table. We'll take care of the rest of this because that's already how it's running at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's crazy that how much impact taking taxes out of our check does to each individual, but it's only 3%. I didn't know that it's only 3% of the total pot, which makes me wonder: is that more of like just a control tactic, or just to make us feel like we're
doing something?
We're contributing.
Like, when you get a young boy to controller that's not plugged in, because that's actually that's the truth in the election or whatever the case would be like that. I seen Manny had put up a post the other day. That was like if you want to win, you got to get the Gen Z vote or whatever, and then somebody put in the comments that Gen Z don't even vote, so you don't need. So it's like it's almost like the illusion of choice, like you was talking about, because we can, but our vote count for so little because there are people who actually have the money to make a pact. We talk about you know, a place like APEC or Israel or whatever the case would be, they have the cheese to have real influence. So whatever the little 100 people you gathered on the corner to try to make the change in West Philly is not about to do it against you. You see what I'm saying? And that's essentially what he's saying. Like, can we call it for what it is? Let them save their cheese, because if we being honest, the millionaires at the table is going to be making the decisions. So like, unless you can get a seat at the table,
so concede to let them take you all. Like he not just saying, he's saying, yo, we taking you all. Like, all right, she don't need to pay it. If you're going to sue it, I'm already making all the decisions. So, like, yeah, I would continue paying for these things. But in a situation, I don't think income tax should be a thing. That is a made up thing that they made up in the middle of this country. That when we were going to war or something, it was supposed to end in like 1942 or something. Like income taxes was not like a whole joint. So that I agree with. But like paying just your state and those small amounts, like to where those small amounts that where you contribute and you get a voice in that room and in your deliberation, because then it's like, all right, why do you need to vote if you don't pay that? Like it gets you down a very short path to having no rights and just being a slave to the system.
That's
like,
what you're saying.
so like if you concede everything because this is the way it's supposed. It's supposed to get better. So no, Jeff, we need to take more from you and still take from us and use it and get it to work the right way. Hey, whoever you made the fuck Amazon, you can get a package to my house in the next 12 minutes, nigga, that I just ordered. So like, I think you maybe can put that brain power to getting these funds to the right people across the world, and that would help a lot. So like in a situation, you kind of like, to be a society, you got to contribute. So like, you don't want to not be a part of society because then you're a slave.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, you can't take niggas off the table because they will quickly. We was a slave, and at that time we didn't contribute to no taxes because whatever,
we were property. They pay taxes on us.
We contributed labor with no voice, and so it's like
we started Wall Street.
And because of how things are, we can do things to set up systems to give us a voice. Like we was talking about earlier, there are people and institutions and movements that have successfully been able to make a noticeable impression on how things are done. And the other side of that is black people literally control culture. Like, so we have a lever to pull on if we could get everybody on the same page.
And that's the hardest part. Like I would like they can't do the community part for us.
Yeah.
Like they can't be like, all right, y'all, like we've been fucking y'all up. All right, we stopped. Now what? Like, okay, what y'all going? Y'all don't got nothing. Ain't nothing organized. Ain't nothing to the point. Like you can't even nominate your own leader to govern yourselves. Y'all don't even know who that would be. Like we don't even care enough to find that person. It's like, hey, no one's training the next who on rap. No one's training the next him right now. We are all focused on individual goals that could probably go to monetary success, not community wealth. So like, to even make the decision, like you gotta kind of want to be a part of black people, and the plan worked. Like y'all was saying earlier, it worked so good that y'all don't want to be with us. Y'all like, no, these is dirty folk. I can't. You is clean. I need good white Jesus. I don't need to be in the house with y'all. Y'all think he got a fro? I can't believe that. I don't care what they say in the Bible. So that's our issue right now, is getting to where even our divisions being united. Like, all right, cool. You want to be white Jesus? That's fine. Worship them over there, but like when it comes to you and your race, because we didn't make these guidelines, they did, but we got to play in the game that we're dealt. So hey, you got to have something for the people here too, not just these viewpoints that you believe because you aspire to be something out of yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And when that was coming up, we was like the trailer came up on the TV for whatever show Diamond was just talking about, and that made me think about the question when Jay was like, why are TV shows struggling to have a good ending? And he was talking about Euphoria, and I just rewatched Game of Thrones the other day, and they ending is just so
terrible.
It's so because the show is so good. It's so good.
Living that, Riz. Don't ever finish.
It's so good up until that point, and they just dropped the ball completely. And so I want to know specifically from Jay and Diamond, being that y'all are resident cinephiles. That's what it is. Let me know. Is it? Have y'all seen a good ending recently? And is it possible for a show to end well?
I'll go. Have I seen a good ending recently? I feel like who ended a show like that had an impactful ending? Because like I've had some good season finales. Like the season was great, you ended it, but series. Like I just was looking up like what's the series finale is coming, and it's been a doozy. Like Stranger Things messed up. Like it's a lot of series that, and then I can't count shows that didn't really get the runway to end. Like all right, we clipped you. Like Gen V had a great 1-2 seasons, but it's clipped now. You're never getting a third, never getting the finish. So like as far as like in the TV world, the issue comes with watch hours. So like most people don't stick around. Like the attention span is so slow. Like you don't get to make your final season how you want it. Like in the boys' case, they budget. Like if you watch the show, season 1 and 2 had the money. 3, 4, 5 was like, can y'all turn on y'all Amazon Prime? Like it's already free for y'all. All y'all gotta do is turn on your TV. It's built in. So like but you didn't watch, so the budget went low. So no, we can't do the superhero fight. I can't take Homelander to space and have him cut the world in half and deal with the ramifications of that because I gotta end my show in this budget they gave me. And then again, I'm part of the people that's all right. Well, you still the runway you had you ruined because you was advertising in that show. But as somebody that understands like the TV world, yeah, that's my next job. If I don't get that, I may not work again. You hate this final season, and I don't advertise my next show well, and they cancel that. I'm done. Like, and it's so many people like Taika Waititi might be out the industry. Like you mess up 2 Marvel movies. They like, well, what are we doing? Why do you exist in this? So, in the world of that, I understand it, but like, I do think you can finish a good show because like movies do. I've seen some great movies. Like, I'll give a special some.
But a movie and the show not the same.
No,
thing.
but I'm saying in the fact of storytelling, it's just I gave you why the show part is really it's really funding, but. In the part of being able to tell the good stories, like I still see good stories get stolen on the big picture screen, like that GOAT movie where I took my kid to see. We just rewatch that. Jones amazing. Zootopia, like animation been going crazy. Nobody talking about it. Hopper was crazy. Animation been going crazy with the storytelling, like concise to the point. Kids can follow. You as an adult, they got the jokes in for you, and it's good storytelling. And like I just watched like the paper we was talking about the other day, Diamond, and that show's having like the season was started off rocky and it ended good, and it makes me want to see season 2. But are they gonna be able to finish? It's all about the budgets you get. Like Game of Thrones is the one that we just were talking about, and it's like, well, they kind of had the budget, but their attention was on their next lick because like your career is short. It's just like what do you want? It's the same thing as basketball. Do you want the career that's going to give you the championships all the time, or do you want to keep getting paid? And a lot of times people pick to get getting paid because they made the industry as dog as you can eat it. Like the SAG-AFTRA minimum is $175 a day, and that's all people been getting for a while now. They don't even do series regulars on slow, so the talent don't even want to be there. The talent's not getting like the deals, like the Euphoria, like when that deal was in there, it's crazy, but that's over. Now the people who make the shows get it. Issa Rae just got a $50 million deal. The bull who makes the Yellowstone show just got like a $300 million deal. Like those are the people that's getting the bread now. So these actors are now getting paid the minimum. You're not a reoccurring character. You're just like you're just a guest star, and you get that pay. And
when you say Issa Rae got $50 million, she gets $50 million to make the show, or she gets $50 million to make the show happen?
No, she gets her $50 million paid.
That's like her salary.
Yes,
like her cheese is $50 million. Then she gets a budget.
We are like you can't do nothing else pretty much. Like I use DC. James Gunn runs the DC universe now, but he can't go do nothing else because of that. So like they paid him handsomely for that.
I see.
Like so she got a Paramount deal for like I think 5 years. So like you can't really like
in that 5 years she
gets to develop Paramount shows. Yeah. So the show budget can be $100 million. It ain't got to affect her. It's all about
record deals and shit for directors. But I think in speaking of Issa Rae, but I think of somebody who like ended the show really well. I think she ended Secure really, really, really well. I feel like she gave everybody that happy ending that they wanted. I mean, the whole show was kind of built around her relationship with herself, but her relationship with Lawrence, and we got to see her and Lawrence get engaged. We got to see them have their family. We got that, and I think she also was able to kind of
bring the funny still.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and she got to close the loop on other
shot
characters.
Shot the baby in the trash can, like that was hilarious.
Issa Rae, she did a good job, and she got to like I said, her supporting characters also got a nice closing as well. So it wasn't just her and Lawrence got married, but what happened to it was like everybody got to see everybody's ending and like where they ended up, which I thought was really intentional and special. But when I think about like why shows sometimes have a hard time like ending on a good note or ending well, or it just seems like, oh, this show fell off or it took a completely different turn. I think I understand how hard it is building a show, because you're essentially building a world. Like your set is like where these people live. You're building lives around these characters, to the point that there are people who get hired for shows whose job it is just to keep track of characters' lives, so that you don't have inconsistencies in it. Like if you might have said, oh, this character's mom passed away when they was little, that while you guys are script writing, inconsistencies don't come up with that. So those are people's jobs to do that. And sometimes when you build a show around actors who have their own lives, you can't predict what's going to happen. Just like Euphoria, we use Euphoria as an example. Like obviously Euphoria in terms of it being shot is one of my favorite shows. It's a running joke in like the film production world that if somebody show you a mood board and you see Euphoria on it, don't do it. Like, because it's just like everybody uses references from Euphoria, because it's such a like Sam Levinson, he is like, when it comes to like how he thinks and in the world, like how he's able to shoot things, he is very one of one in that category. And I think like he can't, like if you go on a 5-year hiatus, it's hard to predict like what these actors will be. It's hard to still have people kind of under your belt. And I think that's why shows change shape so much, because not only are you dealing with like the creative differences of the actors, you're dealing with the creative differences of the writers. Like every time I see something that happens in a show, I'm thinking like, oh, I wonder what the writer's room was like when they made this decision, because like that's essentially how it goes. Like if you are a writer that is a part of a show, you come into this room with this long ass table and you pitch ideas around what you think should happen in the show, and people say yay or people say nay, and then you have to kind of fight behind those decisions and make them fit into a show. There's some shows who go by episode. Like, okay, if you're doing like a long series, like, oh, you are in charge of pitching us an idea for this episode, and you are in charge of these characters' lives, but you also don't know how that'll line up to their real lives and what will happen. And I think Zendaya and like Sydney Sweeney is a perfect example of that, where like we couldn't have predicted all that would have happened this past 5 years, where like they don't even really mess with each other. So I'm sure it's difficult on set to get scenes of them together and all of that, because they don't mess with each other. So it's hard. It becomes a roadblock. And I think the world changes over time. Like there's different and I think that's what you see with Euphoria, where a lot of people, the feedback this season has been like, oh, it doesn't feel like the same show. Like it doesn't feel, it feels like I'm watching a completely different show. And I think even deeper than that, we all have to understand that like creativity is ever growing, and people that create these things, they change and they take shape. I remember I seen an interview of Drake years ago, and I forgot who he was talking to, but somebody asked him like, okay, what do you think is like, what is your favorite album of yours? And he was like, it's hard for me to say. He's like, I don't have one. And he said, I always hate when people get into conversations about what their favorite album of mine is. He said, because everything is subjective based on where you were in your life at that time. He said, so there's college kids who gonna be like, yo, Take Care is the best album he ever dropped, because it hit and it meant something to you when you were in college, and it makes you think of this specific moment in your life. But he was like, that's going to be different for everybody. And I think artists grow and they change, and we hold artists that we love. And when I say artists, I'm not talking about music artists, I'm talking about directors and writers. We hold them to such a, you gotta be this because this is who you were when you started this thing. But Euphoria went off 5 years ago, so we had to know that 5 years later, Sam Levinson is now a completely different director, a completely different person, has a completely different perspective, like all of that. So I think you naturally change over time, and I think that will always be reflective in your art, which is why our artists sound different a little bit. Like Drake doesn't sound the same, and he's not supposed to. And even a case in point is like, I was telling y'all how I was going through my archived photos, and I saw before COVID happened, y'all probably don't know because I don't think I knew any of y'all prior to COVID, but pre-COVID, I was about to throw a show. Like, I've always been obsessed with like shows. I had a show that I was going to throw at Kung Fu Necktie, and it was for March 24th, 2020, which I think was the year of COVID. So it ended up getting canceled. Like, I had to put out a whole statement saying the show was canceled. I had tickets sold, everything. And yeah, it was going to be like my first show. I was always been into like programming and stuff like that, and pour all this money into it, all this time into it. And I looked back on the flyer and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, I was like, yo, I can't believe you put this out and was really standing behind this in 2020. Like, but that, and it's just like, at the time, I actively remember thinking that flyer was so amazing. And that's just because like, it's not that it wasn't, it's just like, like my taste level has grown, and now I have a complete different perspective when it comes to my art than I did 5 years ago or
But-
6 years
And I
ago.
don't think I'm saying that Euphoria Kids is industry because the show went away because of the strikes. So like in the fact of the industry not being safer, like people can't. It's hard to create an environment that isn't conductive for you. Like if I got to think about eating, like it's been very high level actors making very big claims of like I can't feed myself. I've been on your TVs for the last 20 years and I can't feed myself.
Yeah.
So like that, I can't imagine trying to go give the best performance when you hungry and your kid's hungry. So like in a situation, I just think if the industry, like we would get great art again if we could just pay artists the right way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, all right, I'll let y'all have y'all time. Now yeah, Riz got to get this something real quick. This is very important.
Sorry.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. This is very important though. So the reason why this is important is because I'm a big Eagles fan. So we gonna start here, right? AJ Brown had his wedding, and the speculation is that Jalen Hurts did not come to AJ Brown's wedding. You know, there's been a very public rift between them, which we don't know is true or not. Like it's
It's
literally-
all made up.
It's literally the media. But my question to y'all,
Sure he didn't go.
so we not.
We
Because
can't.
I'm about to say, I thought they only came out with like a clip.
Yeah,
I
we-
thought they only
we-
came out with a clip
He
saying
dropped
that.
some pictures, but
We
like,
not- but
you
the-
don't see every person. They saying because he's not in the wedding
The
party.
speculation on ESPN and Adam, all of these different people, journalists saying like he didn't show up at their wedding. This is symbolic of the rift or whatever. But my whole joint is, I just want to know for y'all personal perspective, if your homie don't show up at your wedding, does it mean that y'all beefing? Does it mean that y'all not cool?
Yes.
And this is
Yeah,
after.
yes.
Wait, hold on. This is
Easy.
after I invited them. Like I invited you to my wedding,
Yeah.
and you did not come.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
That,
no call, no show.
But decline is an option. Hey, bro, I actually have
Oh
this
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that day.
No, I don't feel the way.
no.
'Cause-
I disagree. What you mean you have this to do that day? Like, cause no, that's just a known thing. Like everybody know. Like if somebody's important to you in your life or your friend, you make it work for their wedding. Ain't no people get married in Jamaica, Mexico, all these different places. You make it because of the simple fact, like this is. And usually weddings are planned years in advance, like at least a year and a half in advance. People will let you know, especially if they have a destination wedding somewhere out the way where it's gonna cost you. Like, no, I don't think there's no excuse for that. A wedding.
So-
You don't miss your homie wedding.
So TMZ caught.
I've been in a bunch of weddings where homies
TMZ
missed.
caught Julio Jones in the airport. Julio Jones was one of the people that got invited but didn't go. He said, you know, AJ Brown is my brother, but I already had this plan that day. And so his call was to, you know, remind people that people have their own lives. I don't know if he was taking up for Jalen in a certain way because they said Jalen had went to like some gala that night or whatever with his wife. And so, you know, he missed the joint. So it's like in my head, I'm like, if I invite you, you accept the invite and you don't come, I feel away. If I invite you and you tell me, bro, I got X, Y, and Z to handle, to take care of, I'm cool.
I
You know,
just don't agree. Maybe that's the girl in me. I feel like if Imani was here, she would be saying the same thing. But I feel like in my mind, there is no excuse to miss a wedding that you want to go to. Like you either want to go or you don't. Like I can't imagine missing my brother's wedding. My brother gets married July 16th. Is
Yes, your
nothing in this
brother,
world-
though.
Right? Okay, but like say it was okay. Let's say my
He's
best
his
friend.
teammates.
Let's say my best friend. Like let's say it was Janaea, my best friend.
No, let's say
What? No, what? Why would
No,
this is
no,
the
it's not-
equivalent.
it's
That's
not-
what I'm saying.
but
These are
it's not-
co-workers.
It's not the equivalent.
These are
That is
the
the equivalent.
Because they was best friends. Like they say that.
Yeah, like this is
AJ
a
Brown,
friend. I
that's
thought this was like somebody
that's
that you
friends.
know.
Yeah,
Like
that's they
Dave
was
would never
friends.
invite me to his wedding because we don't have that kind of relationship.
Right.
I was just saying co-workers.
But they not just coworkers.
They're
They
not.
wasn't- they
Yeah,
wasn't
like
just
I
coworkers.
thought we was talking about because the
Yeah.
original question
It's
was
been
if you're a
co-workers.
friend.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
Not your coworker.
Yeah.
JJ said if
Your
you're a friend.
friend. They was
I'm talking about
friends.
if nothing can stop me from being at my friend's wedding if they invited me. If somebody invites me to their wedding, I know for me, if I ever get married, only the people that I actually know and love. I'm not the type that you get a +3. No, I'm not paying for all those people. to eat.
So your show starts. You get to direct the show of your dreams. Budget is amazing, and it has to start this day because you got the actors you want, and their careers are now. And my wedding is now in the middle of this.
They gotta
shoot.
work around me. They gotta work. They gotta work around me. No, like this very important person is getting married. People stop things for weddings all the time. CEOs step away. Oh, I'm gonna be away for a wedding. A
I
wedding
think
is
weddings
important.
and funerals. Weddings and funerals.
Yeah,
do,
that's
'cause
just
they-
such
funerals-
essential. It's like I'm saying that if you want to go, you will make it. Like there's no gala, there's no event. Like if you want, because the thing about it, galas is they happen all the time. People only get married one time, so it's just like if you're. Well, I mean, obviously, you're only supposed you only have a wedding like that.
yeah.
You should only have a wedding like that at least one time. So it's just like people. That's so important. Like nothing could stop me from being there. I will bike to Dallas if I'm gonna see my brother get married.
I had people
Absolutely.
say they would lose. Like you don't like. I've been to multiple weddings and I had people not show up. There was people, friends and homies, and they all have reasons to cater to their own life and their own reasons.
Well, I feel like that about baby showers. Like I feel like that about baby showers and events of revolving around babies. Like
Yeah. I think it just depends on who you are and like how you value certain aspects of friendships. But I also think it's an indicator of the friendship. Like I've been invited to weddings, and I think I wasn't really in a position to go, but like could my friend understand that was a thing? Because it's like I'm trying to explain something to you, but that made me realize that when we were friends, though, we had very different perspectives because of like our different branches of life. So when we got to this thing of the wedding, you still don't we're still not fully connecting.
What if you
I
get
don't know
invited
if I
last
should
minute,
be-
Diamond? We're going.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's happened to me.
yeah, it made me think like, well, should I be in the wedding then? Like, because are we what you think is the relationship what you actually think it is? So that kind of made me like,
That's why he made
You
me
know,
think of that question, JJ.
yeah, reassess the whole, just reassess the whole thing. But I feel like there are some people where like if it's a wedding, I'm gonna go and like I gotta.
No
make
matter
it
what,
happen.
even if it's a late invite, like yo, my wedding next week.
If it's
you
a
tired?
late invite, why is it late though? Is that
Yeah.
because you are unorganized, or is that because of
That
what?
For whatever
I've
reason.
been invited to a wedding.
You don't
I've been
get the
invited
answer,
to a
you
wedding
just get the
last minute,
call.
too, and I denied. I respectfully
Okay,
declined.
so there's a.
But and then we and this person were friends, but I felt like I'm not gonna go like. I'm telling you the week of like, and they live in Atlanta. Like I'm not gonna inconvenience myself and
3
buy a
months.
flight
So
to
it's like,
Atlanta.
what's the time? Can I let you not like if I don't let you because people invite guests different than they invite the wedding party. So like the guests might not know until 6 months, 4 months before.
Yeah, if you got a good couple months runway, you straight.
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. If you have
Yeah.
a couple months, that's
I
why.
don't think-
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying. Like, if the invite come last minute, of course. But like, in that in NFL world, that may very much be a thing because a lot of times people are not getting married immediately because they are saving their money. So a lot of times when you operate in an NFL world, the NFL players they just get engaged and they get married. So.
Yeah. But I do feel like they are coworkers and but are they friends? Because sometimes because of this project we're working on, like going after a championship, we can kind of develop a friendship. But if once we leave this team, will we still be friends?
So how do you feel about the playoffs so far?
Dang. I mean, it's a lot of ways to think of it. I do think I like what the Knicks are doing with Brunson just because he's an undersized guard. I feel like he's definitely hooping and leading the charge. Bringing his team back. I like what they doing against who the Knicks playing against right now. The Cavs. I like what they're doing against the Cavs. I do feel sorry for Harden. Max Kellerman said something since we talking about politics about Harden. He said, bringing Harden to your team to win a championship is like electing Trump to change your country. Some people was offended by that. I do feel like it's a little controversial, but I get the part of just like. Sometimes you bring people in thinking they're going to do one thing and they completely do something different. So, I guess we'll see what happens with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I think Wemby is. I think we get a witness and some greatness a little bit in the Wemby era.
Yeah.
He coming of age. I think the OKC bubble to me is getting ready. I mean, they got that draft pick, so it's definitely going to test the team. But like, I don't know how much the next year they're gonna get treated the same way with the calls and situations.
Yeah, you think they're gonna make a slave? I do feel like they're a more deep, complete team though than the Spurs, just a little bit. Like the Spurs are really good, but they're so young.
From us,
Yeah.
goddamn Sixers gave him probably one of the best, the sixth man of the year to me if he don't get injured.
Yeah, he's hooping.
So
McCain,
like, he got 24
the
points.
boy Johnson got 6 man already.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like if he didn't get injured, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That last year.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I do think the Thunder. I feel like the Thunder could repeat. I would like to see the Knicks in the finals though. Maybe Knicks Thunder and really see how those teams go at it. Because I think the Thunder is deeper, but I do think the Knicks could give them something that in that environment. You said what?
Nothing. So where was y'all at? My fault. I did want to get involved. Before
give us your playoff review. Where we're at now. We had the Knicks series. Blast. We had
So this is my whole thing. I don't know if y'all.
Western
I don't
Conference.
know if y'all spoke on this point yet.
Yo,
but
shout out to everybody, man.
like I said, I grew up in
Shout out
sports.
to
So
everybody
Eagles
who
and
showed
Sixers
love
is
on
something
that
that's serious to me, something personal. You see what I'm saying? When the Sixers advanced to the second round, Cloud 9. When they got swept by the Knicks, I felt sad. I was sad on the inside. Now I should not be this attached to sports, but unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbled for me. But the thing that I absolutely cannot understand is how 4 people who should be Sixers are still playing
Crazy.
when the Sixers are not playing. 2 of them are starters on their teams, and 2 of them come off the bench. Right? We got Mikal Bridges. He should have got drafted by the Sixers. Instead, we drafted who we drafted? Markelle Fultz that year.
Yeah.
Then we have Champagnie, who's a starter for the Spurs. Then we have McCain. Then we have Isaiah Joe. To me, Isaiah Joe and McCain are like make no sense because they could hoop before they got traded, before they were allowed to leave. And then Champagnie got cut so that we could bring the dunk. Who the white boy that jumped high?
McClung.
Yeah, McClung on the team. He was just there but now he's a starter. He's a starter on the Spurs. And then we have 2 bench players on the Thunder, and McCain hooped last night. I don't know if y'all watched, but he had 20
playoff record.
He had 20 points last night. So my whole thing is, what is wrong with this? Why do y'all keep letting talent go? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous at this point. And my other playoff, the Knicks are absolutely hooping. Much like I have a lot of respect for them and what they're doing. Oh, I lied. It's 5 because Harden play on the Cavaliers. It's literally 5 people.
They'll be out
start.
by the time y'all see this. The Cavs won't be here anymore.
we can have a starting 5. But yeah, that was my whole thing, bro. Like I just can't believe the Sixers let all this talent go. The Knicks are hooping. Wemby is the alien, but the Thunder gonna win the championship again.
Thunder Knicks.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think it's the end of
Thunder-
their dynasty though. I think the league gonna definitely change how they've been playing them for like how the way the call's been going and the way they. I think it changes a
They
little
got
bit.
hit with the flagrant last night. I don't know how long it's going to last.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what.
what like the bubble. I think the bubble's breaking on that, and that's been so much a fundamental way of Shea's game. So like,
I ain't
They're
gonna
not
lie
going to
though.
call no offensive fouls though, man. Shea's a bucket though.
Yeah.
Get right to the spot.
I ain't gonna lie. This is my last point because Diamond don't know what we talking about at all. This is my last. This is my last point though. The Knicks, the Spurs, and the Thunder are playing at a level that the Sixers would have never reached. I ain't gonna lie. The Sixers didn't know the best version of the Sixers could not compete with what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Like as much as they say that the Thunder is crying for call, them boys is hooping.
not just them, no Boston, LA,
They
like most like the game is
hooping.
elevated. But again, people have these years because I think that Denver situation was like this, but that is Grant's course,
Bro, real quick, Chet Holmgren is 7'4". I seen him pull up for a 3. Then I seen him. He took a floater. Like there was no way that we was competing with what they doing, doing out there. Shai Gilgeous SGA making ridiculous. Like he's making ridiculous. He's making the shot, then falling, getting a call or not. Like I never seen nobody make a shot and fall, and it didn't affect the shot at all.
Bro, that shit is textbook.
You see what I'm saying? We was never gonna compete. We got to be honest with it. Wemby, he throwing the ball to himself from different angles and dunking on people, then coming back the next possession and shooting
blocking
from
it.
3.
Yeah.
Then he coming back. Then he
So
going
what
to
you
the.
trying to say?
Our
You trying to
defense
say we
is
watching the Wizards now?
We not the Washington Wizards.
No, but one thing about this,
they
is
just
we
hooping
got
different.
3
No, but
players.
They hooping
I'm
different.
making over
talking
40
about our
million.
future though. Like, how can we even
We need
get to
management.
where they at? Like,
We need new
them
players.
teams
You
is
gotta
built
build through the
ridiculous.
draft,
Yeah,
bro. You gotta
build
build
through
the
the
team, and they gotta know their roles.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing.
But you
with all
gotta.
these
But
teams.
I'm
yeah.
saying, like, look at that's gonna take some time.
Yes,
For
it's
sure.
not gonna happen.
That's all I'm
overnight.
saying.
sure.
We the Washington Wizards for a couple years. How
Man,
did this
bro.
happen?
You think-
Fuck the process.
Nah,
Fuck
we
the
got-
process.
we gotta keep Max.
You heard
bro.
me say, fuck it.
Ew.
Damn.
Stupid as shit.
Nah,
Nah,
we
I've
definitely
heard.
making over 50 million too. That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah,
got three,
I
we're the only
just-
team, and we not in the finals. The only
But
team in the
we
league.
don't got a
paying
future.
3
Like,
players
this-
over 40 million.
Yeah, we
Crazy.
paying 2 people max. That's over
Over
that's dumb
35
old.
damn near.
Yeah, that's
Like-
dumb old. Crazy. But listen, we
Yeah.
appreciate y'all for coming, rocking with us. This has been another episode of Who's Hiring, Cultural Commentary for the Creatively Employed. Please follow us on everything at The Winners Culture on all pages. We really appreciate the support to this point, and we'll see y'all next
Say
week.
the thing. to subscribe. 90% of y'all watch this. 'cause that
90% of
always
y'all
conversion up.
that watch do not subscribe, so please subscribe. We really appreciate the support. It keeps us going. Much love.
Go get the Patreon for JJ and Diamond new show.
Yeah.
To the hopeless, control the game like the coaches. Stay dropping gems, we the winners, coaching. You know this. Never coasting, always elevating, staying focused. When it's all said and done, we the winners, coaching. Yeah, we winners, coaching.